Hey, everybody.
Hello.
All right, so this is going to be fun.
What's going on?
It's early is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We are basically going to be talking about reacting to a Switch 2 live stream that Nintendo is going to be showing off. Apparently, it's going to be 60 minutes, folks. We're going to be here for a while.
60 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I'm hoping we get some pretty big messaging about the Switch today. Hopefully lots of software being shown off.
That's what I'm hoping for, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody... I think if people care about the hardware, I think a lot more people care about the game.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we need things to play on this thing, right? Maybe before the Direct starts, we can get into some of what we know so far.
Yeah,
about
things
the
we
Nintendo
know.
Switch 2.
That would be a good idea. I'm trying to get the chat going up here so everybody can focus. But
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. How blown is your mind going to be when the Direct starts and the dude is wearing the Switch 2 on his head as a hat? Did you know that functionality is going to be included?
I was not. I wouldn't have been expecting that. But yeah. Okay, here we go. So everybody can see the chat. Here we are.
Nice.
Hey, everybody. Leisha, Minty, Sea Winner, Chewy Coffee Babies.
Colin Joyce, Super Invader, Lemon Squeezy.
Lemon Squeezy.
Can we just do this?
Yeah, let's just call
throughout
everybody.
the entire Direct?
Someone who spams in chat. That's a good name. Gabriel, Black Sheep, Lazy, and Danny B. Hey, everybody. Okay, so yeah.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good morning or afternoon or evening. I have no idea how...
I don't know how time zones work at all.
Yeah, but here it's pretty early in the morning, and we're ready. We're sprightly, right?
Yes, we're wearing our Nintendo shirts.
That's right.
You got.
I got Kirby.
I got
my Kirby
going on. The Nintendo New York store.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's the hoodie that I got.
It's an awesome
there.
hoodie.
Yeah, thank you. I like it. It does a tent thing at the front. That's what you want. You want that. Anyway. Okay, sure. So, basically, I mean, there's a lot that's going to be going on here, a lot we're going to be talking about throughout the day, being shown off, really a lot of cool things. But personally, what I come to expect from Nintendo when they show off new consoles is like a couple hidden features they haven't really revealed to anybody yet. Like, there's a bit of that Nintendo magic, right?
Yeah.
The Switch had the ability to become a home console and a portable console at the same time. And although that could be considered the like magical little thing it did, it also had an IR sensor, so you could eat an invisible sandwich.
Right, which was barely utilized in anything whatsoever beyond... Well, like Nintendo does have a tendency to lean more into what you labeled the magic earlier on in when the device is out, kind of like Labo, for instance, as well. Like, what are the cool little... things that you could... There was VR integration.
Yes.
At one point, for a very brief moment, there was VR integration.
Didn't work very well, but it was there. Then there was also... there was... The actual controllers coming off the console. Right, it's been a number of years. We got to talk about those little tiny things that actually mattered a lot for the Switch.
Yeah. Like with the Switch 2, I feel like there's an expectation for kind of a larger jump forward from the build of that original console, the original Switch, to something a little sturdier this time, right? I really do hope that when we see them talking about the hardware itself, that they talk about the joysticks on this thing.
Yeah, I really want them to be.
They won't admit that joystick drift is a thing.
They won't admit joystick drift.
I'm hoping during this 1 hour presentation, there's a moment where they're like, not to point fingers at anything, but the joysticks in this are really good, and here's how they work. Like, I hope that they do something like that, some messaging to let us know that we won't need to buy new Joy-Con 2s in 3 months or whatever.
I'd love to hear, like, if they just say the words TMR, or if they say Hall Effect. Any of those joysticks are really, really cool because they last a lot longer, and then we won't have joystick drift. They're probably not going to talk about joystick drift at all.
No.
But if they just say the key words, they just go, we have all new sticks, right? Or whatever, that would be really cool.
Even just that statement alone would be fine. And the ability to have newer and better hardware for those control sticks seems like it, not only are we 8 years out from that console, so tech moves forward in leaps and bounds since then, but also what we do know about the Switch is it's bigger.
Yes,
The
that's
Switch
right.
2 is the screen is probably going to be I saw estimates of around 8 inches or so. So it's slightly larger, which means also the Joy-Cons themselves are slightly larger and the thumbsticks are slightly larger as well. So
I'm excited about all that because I like the Switch was big when it originally came out, but as time has progressed, we've seen a lot of other handhelds come out. I'm a huge fan of the Steam Deck. I play the Steam Deck like every day, pretty much. Like whatever. Usually,
we were using it just yesterday. I think.
Yeah. We were playing a bunch of games on it. Like it's not that the Steam Deck has a bigger screen or whatever. It's a little bit more powerful than a Switch, just a little bit. But I really want to see. Like, I want to know more about the screen. I want to know more about this stuff. I don't think it's going to be OLED. I've heard rumors, that it's going to be an 120 hertz screen. I can't imagine that's going to be true. So for those of you that don't know, your current Switch screen has a 60 hertz screen. That means it has the ability to project 60 frames per second. At 120 hertz, you can do 120 frames per second. I do not think that's going to happen because many Switch games today struggle to even get to 60.
Right. I'm hoping that the Switch, whether it's only in docked mode or docked and portable as well, I'm hoping that it can do 4K, like it can have 4K visuals or 4K output. And if we're going to be seeing that, even if it is being upscaled, I don't know that this thing is going to be hitting 120 frames per second. So. I still think that the Nintendo ethos of having consoles that are cost effective is going to be at play here because, well, especially right now, we're seeing, an economy where people are maybe, holding their purses, their wallets a little closer.
Bit, just a bit, yeah.
So they probably want to make it as that expense as small as possible, and if they want to do that, they probably won't be hitting 120 frames per second, 4K. It'd be nice to hit just 4K. That'd be cool.
Yeah, just that 4K would be nice.
Yes.
We got a super chat in from Edge Bedlam. They asked, "Are you two planning to make a Sonic Boom video?" I made a Sonic Boom video a long time ago on the channel for positives. But
you also made a Sonic 06 video.
Yeah. So, we wanted honestly, after our Sonic 2006 video, we want to take a little break from Sonic. It was like a 3-hour long video.
We're still reeling from that.
Yeah.
That was like most of my year last year, like on and off. I feel like, I consider that like a gigantic tentpole of our YouTube creative careers.
Yeah,
but we said we were going to do it eventually, and it felt like it was almost a decade coming, and then we finally got it out. We're like, we did the thing. Sonic Boom would be another one of those larger videos.
It'd be a big one. Yeah. I think it has just as many issues as Sonic 2006.
Oh yeah, and
honestly, I remember accidentally breaking the game while I was playing, and I wasn't even trying, so that was like a big deal too.
Yeah.
We got a super chat in from Mo Lester. I see now what they did there. Yeah. Thank you for that, Mo.
It's early.
It's early. I'm too early for that. And Vincent O'Connor sent in a super chat. Thoughts on the new DK design?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope we see more about Donkey Kong in this stream. Because I mean, look, I don't know if that's Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong Jr. See, that's
I had the same thought,
right? Everybody forgets this in Super Mario Kart. At the very beginning, in the first Super Mario Kart on the SNES, you see Donkey Kong wearing kind of like a white
jersey or something like that, or a singlet or something. Yeah,
that's Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong Sr. from the original Donkey Kong games is Cranky Kong from Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, you're getting into the lore now.
Yeah, so when Donkey Kong Country came out, it's the old ape at the beginning.
So would that mean that the Donkey Kong Country Donkey Kong we know today is actually Donkey Kong Jr.?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's all he's all grown up.
Gotcha.
And Diddy Kong isn't Donkey Kong Jr. He's Diddy Kong.
Well, Diddy Kong, he has a tail, so I don't even know where he's from.
Yeah, right. But that's just the thing, right? These are I don't know which Donkey Kong that's supposed to be. Surprisingly, in my opinion, the thing that really shocked me was that they didn't go closer to the movie designs with this new character.
I thought they did. I thought it doesn't look exactly like
What's
it.
the eyes,
but
right?
the more rounded nature, of things with the character, I think skews a little closer to that. But you know what I'm really wondering is whether or not we're going to be seeing some sort of Donkey Kong,
Such a dummy now, am I?
whatever media at the showcase. A new game. They're very much due for a new Donkey Kong Country title. We just had the re-release of Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Switch, and that had the 3DS port as well. And Donkey Kong is now integrated into the Nintendo theme parks in Universal Studios. So I feel like now is the time to to launch another Donkey Kong title. We've been waiting for a long time with bated breath since the freaking Wii U for another Donkey Kong Country.
Right.
We had a port. Funky Kong mode does not make a new Donkey Kong Country title. So we need something new.
Yeah, we really do. It's been too long. Miguel Olivia asked, what are your thoughts on the AI upscale on the Switch 2? Thanks so much for the super chat, Miguel.
Thank you.
So this is interesting. Recently, for those of you that don't know, one of our big computers that we use to do all of our recording and everything broke down. We had a 2080 Ti graphics card. It literally blew up. It does not work anymore, and we had to get a whole new computer replacement and stuff. It wasn't fun. Stupidly expensive, too, because they don't make those cards anymore. But the benefit was we got a newer computer. Way too expensive for these things, but this newer computer has a newer graphics card in it, and it uses AI upscaling. So it's a technology called DLSS.
Yes.
AMD also does their own variation for the Radeon graphics cards, ATI. But anyway, basically, AI upscaling, for those of you that don't know, is the ability for any kind of system that you're using to upscale an image beyond the capability, core capabilities of the hardware. So, for example, you're not natively running a 4K image, but with an AI upscaling, it kind of helps it make it look more like it's 4K without as much processing demand and hard power demand.
So yeah, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but that technology has been said to be in the Switch 2.
I don't want to make hard confirmations.
Yeah, we're
going to be on the Switch too.
Okay.
The reason why is because the modern chipsets that exist from graphics, if they're going to go with an NVIDIA graphics chip again, because if it's compatible with the previous Switch, it's based off NVIDIA technology.
It's physically backwards compatible and digitally. Yeah.
So unless Nintendo is using a really ancient chip on this thing, it's going to be using a newer chip, which will have that stuff built in. So likely a variant of DLSS, if not just DLSS itself. So I believe what you're going to see is when this thing gets docked, it's going to output to 4K resolution. It would be crazy if Nintendo released a 1080p system in 2025.
Right. So we have a system currently that is at 720p undocked.
Yes.
Right. Most of the time. And then this is with the current Switch. And then when it's docked, we can get 1080p visuals that way. Right. Yeah. So basically, we're taking that up one step. We hope is that possibly 1080 out of the dock in the dock.
That's what I'm thinking. 1080p screen on the Switch. Yeah. And then when you actually go to use the dock, you're going to get a 4K output. I hope we have variable refresh rates, where we have the ability to go between different refresh rates on the Switch dock, so that we can go to places like 120 frames per second on the dock. I get it that we can't do it portably because that's a lot of power, that's a lot of energy, but it would be really cool to have those features outside of that. But we also got another super chat from Edge Bedlam. Thank you again, Edge. Hope Switch 2 has an F-Zero reboot, remake, or sequel. Yes,
absolutely. So
it's been too long.
Yeah, the original Switch had a large amount of classic Nintendo IP sort of coming back. You got your Zeldas, your Marios, and whatnot. But I feel like now is the time to bring back some of the older heavy hitters that we haven't seen in a long time. Even if it's
Kid Icarus.
Even if it's just a port of the GameCube F-Zero title over to the Nintendo Switch 2.
I want a new F-Zero. I want a new F-Zero.
You can have a new. You can have a new F-Zero.
I
you know what I want? I
want an F-Zero collection.
I want. Oh, that'd
Right?
be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want a new codename Steam. No.
Wow.
I want a new Kirby's always
You want a
great.
new Devil World too?
Yes. We see a lot of Kirby. Kirby would be cool, but Star Fox.
Yeah, okay.
Do something different with Star Fox. Clearly, we cannot get an on-rail shooter with Star Fox that hits with an audience anymore. Like it wasn't working. So
Adam's throwing a lot of shade.
do
Apparently
something.
He didn't like the last Star
do
Fox.
something.
That's weird.
Nintendo plus Platinum should have equaled a fantastic Star Fox game, but it was just, I would say, okay.
It was just okay.
Better with 2 players playing co-op. Star Fox Zero, try it. If you have your Wii U plugged in.
Super Kitty Pogo Dance sent in a super chat. Hi, thanks for being awesome. Thank you so much, Super Kitty, for that. And we got another super chat in from, we got a new member.
Oh, awesome.
Bradley D became a member, YouTube member. Breedley. Sorry, Breedley. Breedley Zero. Bradley. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. If you guys don't know, if you become YouTube members on Rerez, you get access to a whole bunch of videos of Adam and I talking about our episodes and a whole bunch of other extra videos that you can't find on the normal channel.
Plenty of extra content.
And Tech User sent in a super chat. You missed New Saints Row Just Bad Games. No, I didn't. I played that game, did it on a stream, very upset throughout the entire stream. I wanted to make sure. So one of the things we don't like to do for Just Bad Games is we don't like to make a video on a game that isn't fully finished yet. And that game came out in such a broken state, and I was waiting for them to update the game and all that stuff. There was one update, and then the studio closed down. So now it's par for course. We can take that and actually look at it.
Yeah. The thing is, so many video games are releasing every year now that it's great for the Just Bad Games series, but there's almost too much content where like there's a lot of bad titles that release, and some are extremely notorious, and you'd think, oh, why didn't they release a video on that yet? But I mean, we have stuff lined up for a long time, and we got to pick our battles, really.
Yeah. Azalea became a new Rerez member. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. And Simple Games asked, what time is it in Canada? Where we live, it is the same time as New York City.
Oh my gosh. It is 8:49.
Yes. We share the same time zone as New York City, as a lot of Pennsylvania. It's not, it's not a common Eastern time zone. Yeah. We don't have special Canadian time. I mean, we do, but we don't tell anybody about that outside the world.
I wanna sort of derail to like re-rail with the Switch 2 talk here, because I feel like we need to discuss what could possibly be the weirdness that might physically be coming with this console, which is the mouse integration.
Yes.
What are your thoughts, sir? So we saw in the Switch 2 trailer, the short, it was like 2-minute trailer, that the two Switch Joy-Con were kind of scrolling around on these weird Joy-Con pad things. And it had been rumored that the what looked like an optical sensor on the top of these things is like all signs are pointing to there are going to be
some kind of mouse, some kind of thing. Okay. From what I could tell, it did look like a mouse. I think it's going to be some kind of interaction thing where people can be able to use it. But the problem is, if it's a mouse interaction, an actual mouse interface, you can't use that portably, right? That's an at-home use case scenario. So I'm thinking that not only is it going to be some kind of mouse,
able to use it but not portably in the traditional. You're walking around.
You're walking around. You're not going to use a mouse, right? So I think what this might be is some way to interact with games like back when they had the SNES, they introduced the SNES mouse that you could play Mario Paint and a couple of other games.
Yeah, SimCity, I think
you might be right with that. Yeah, but that whole scenario, right? If we see that happen and we do get that, we're getting new Mario Paint, easy.
If they don't do that, they're just leaving money on the table.
Yeah,
we need a new Mario Paint, and I was thinking as well, Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Done.
That's fair.
Done. The best, probably the best way to control Mario Maker.
I hope we get a Zelda Maker, right? But anyway, so we get that interface. if that happens, okay, and I think we're going to see that because it seems weird to have an optical sensor.
I'll be a little disappointed if they're like, oh no, that's another IR sensor or some weird thing like that. Like I want it now.
Because here's what I think: if they're going to do that, what you're likely going to see is going to be some integration with third-party developers where they introduce first-person shooters that utilize that input.
Absolutely.
So think about it this way: one Joy-Con is your movement, right, and then your buttons and all that stuff, and then your other Joy-Con is going to be you aiming around and stuff, and that's how we play first-person shooters.
Absolutely.
But instead of a keyboard layout, you've got that. If they do that, the Switch could possibly be one of the best systems to play first-person shooters on a console that has that naturally integrated into the system.
Absolutely.
I don't know if they're going to do it, but if they do, that's a huge advantage for Nintendo.
It's great from a third-party developer perspective because you can play those, like you were saying, first-person shooters. Think about like Civ or like RTS style games.
Anything like that
would be incredible. But also think about how that technology could be adopted into other Nintendo IP. Think about games like Pikmin, which is kind of like an RTS style game, but having that mouse control would be pretty compelling for that title.
Expect Hori and a bunch of third-party companies to be releasing Joy-Con mice that just work as mouse. I mean, I know it sounds like it's probably going to be basic stuff, but like if they do this and they do it right, you're going to see a huge integration from third-party developers. I mean, just think about it this way. All of these game developers that are making games right now on Steam that use mice and keyboard input that are kind of hard to get to work on a console, if Nintendo introduces this, it really does push them in a new direction where console games can have that mouse focus, which I'm really excited about. Not only do I hope it's a mouse integration, I hope it's also an on-screen movement integration, just like what we used to have with the Wii. If we can introduce both of these things, give people the flexibility and options to control these games in a variety of ways, that would be a smart way to go.
It's fun that you mentioned the Wii because I think this is like a no-brainer if we do have mouse integration to get more Wii titles ported over to this thing or even DS titles. Yes, we have seen Wii and DS stuff brought over to the original Switch, but it just seems like it's more one-to-one with like the touchpad.
Are we gonna get
the Wii pointer?
Are we gonna get another re-release of Pikmin 1 and 2, and this one reintroduces the mouse movement that the Wii had?
It would be Pikmin 1 and 2. New play control.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay,
dude. If they re-release,
they will. At that point, yeah.
Well, you can pay me later for the idea, Nintendo. If they re-release or they re-release a peripheral that looks like the original Mario Paint mouse, how quick are you going to buy that up?
Oh, pretty quick.
Probably.
I'll buy
quick.
two. One for
I mean,
each
if not Nintendo, then Hori will do it. You know,
right? Isaiah X Newsom sent in a super chat. Thank you so much. Are you guys planning to do another rewatch video? Yes, we are.
Yeah, we love that series.
Yeah, we really have a lot of fun with that. We just, I think, what's the next one we do in that series? It's going to be...
They just keep getting longer, too.
They do, because the episodes get longer. So our rewatches typically run about twice the length of an episode, or like a little
three
bit.
times the length.
Yeah. So when we get to Sonic 06, we're gonna have to pitch a tent and have a bonfire and just take it slow, man.
You're hearing Robin right now. Our producer.
Yeah, I film and edit the rewatches, and I think the last one we did a special for Sonic Forces, and that was out of order. But we've been doing all the Just Bads, and I think the last Just Bad was Batman and Robin.
That was a big
one.
one.
So that means I think whatever's after that comes next. It might be Power Rangers.
Yes, that sounds about right. Yep. Bacon Trap just became a Rerez member. Thank you so much, Bacon Trap. And you can now watch a bunch of our rewatch episodes.
Yeah, speaking of.
Yeah, they are. If you like Just Bad Games, I heavily recommend you watch that because we talk about random stuff because we cut a lot of things out of those episodes that do not get actually put into the final versions because of just, we don't want to make super long episodes after we just did a 3-hour-long episode. But you know what I mean? We usually don't go that far.
And it's if you want to know a little bit about how our brains work while making the things, it's a little bit of inside baseball. Nothing that would go way over your head, but we do talk about why we show different things and make certain creative decisions.
Hot Slaw and Rion are saying Robin rules and hi Robin. Yeah, Robin is a big impact behind the scenes. She works on a lot of stuff. And she has written a script with a ton of research that we're going to be working on very soon. We just finished reading it yesterday.
It's an exciting episode.
It's big.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're going to break some myths of the video game industry. It's nuts. So stay tuned for that. Mo sent in a super chat. I'm not going to say the rest of your name, Mo. If you got me once, you're not getting me a second time. The network stack should be updated. This antique IP stack doesn't even support IPv6 properly. Why is this never mentioned? So I think that in general, Nintendo has never been very good with any of their online functionality and features. I mean, I don't want to say that they're the worst company out there because Stadia, but they really fail.
I think they're careful. I think they're just super duper. They're slow to adopt certain things.
You know what?
Look. I just read a rumor, and this was big news for like a split second. I just read a rumor that one of the FCC filings that seems to be for a Pro controller for the Switch 2 has a headphone input in it.
Yeah.
That's big news.
Yeah.
So Nintendo, they take things slow. They're careful. The headphone input not only means that you could listen to your game, but possibly there could be microphone integration, which we know chat within Nintendo systems has been dubious in the past.
Look, I don't want to... I had some predictions for the Switch 2, and one of my predictions was going to be an eShop that works. Because the eShop they have now is sad.
Yep.
And the thing is, I hear some people complain about it every so often. It is one of the worst online storefronts in existence. It is awful. I'd rather be on Netscape in 1998 or whatever the heck when Netscape was at. Like, I would not want to go back on that thing. It was so bad and so poorly implemented. The way that it just failed, like it still fails constantly. It's super slow. I do like the intro to it, but the rest of it is super slow. There's no real option to buy a lot of things at once easily.
It's hard to navigate.
It's super hard to navigate.
It's hard to find the things that you want to see. It's chock full of just
garbage,
shovelware, which we thought we had already gotten over after the Wii era of physical shovelware. Now there's like more and more digital shovelware.
2 minutes to go, everybody. 2 minutes to go.
Ooh, oh man, this is super exciting.
Shadow Knight Dragon became a Rerez member, and thank you so much, Shadow Knight Dragon and Simple Game sending a super chat. Sorry, this has to be done.
Yes,
Simp for Moobar every time.
Got to say it every time.
Okay, folks.
We're doing this. We're locking in?
Yeah, we're locking in. All right.
Locking in.
Everybody, so we're going to be watching the stream. Adam and I will be commenting as we watch. We're not going to try and be like super crazy and interrupt everybody.
Yeah.
We're excited.
We're as excited as you are.
Is this not exciting?
We want to hear things. We want to see things. We'll probably be yelling out game names.
And another super chat from Aravind.
Yeah, Aravind PN.
Aravind PN.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for joining
folks.
us.
This is going to be really cool. We're going to watch the whole thing. We're not going to cut out anything. And then there's going to be a conversation afterwards as well, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
But this is going to be pretty cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, folks. I'm excited.
Kid Icarus?
Kid Icarus?
Wait.
Microsoft. Bill Gates is going to come onto the screen and be like, we've purchased Nintendo.
It's not the craziest thing. Phil Spencer. Well, yes, Bill Gates is crazy. But Phil Spencer was talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 in a very good light.
All right.
Master Chief Collection. Here we come.
I'm vibrating. I'm shaking. All right, let's see. Here we go, everybody.
Wait, what are we watching?
I don't know. I laugh if this is just a hidden... Ooh. Oh, is that a new Direct logo?
Could be. Got little bits and bobs.
Oh, I think it's just the Nintendo Direct logo. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
They know what they're doing. They're making it epic.
Yeah, I like that. Some game footage captured in engine, actual gameplay.
Mario Kart.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Mario Kart.
Let's see what we got.
I don't like the idea that Yoshi has a restaurant. He doesn't have hands. He just licks everything.
Let's go.
I wouldn't order anything with the egg. Okay, we're seeing more characters or more players.
Yeah.
On the track for sure. It's looking pretty clean.
Yeah, it is. Oh, boats. Snowmobiles. Motorcycles, little flight stuff. Yeah, I mean, snowmobiles is new. They didn't have that in the previous game.
No, I don't think so.
And I don't think there were boats. I think you went underwater. I don't think you went above it and glided on like that.
Oh, nice.
Rail riding. Oh, wall riding? Okay.
Okay, you could be a cow from Moo Farm. I'm in, man.
All right. You know, here's the thing. This doesn't look visually advanced compared to the previous Mario Kart, but it just looks fun and it looks bright and colorful. That's all I really care about with these games.
The thing with the art style, Nintendo's art style, it's so classic that it you know, even at 720p, it looked fantastic. But
Exactly.
clearly we're getting a higher fidelity here.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. Oh, just reload it.
Hello everyone, I'm Koichi Kawamoto, and I'll be one of your guides for today's Nintendo Direct. I'm the producer for Nintendo Switch 2.
I'm Takuhiro Dota, the director for Nintendo Switch 2.
And I'm Tetsuya Sasaki, the hardware design lead for Nintendo Switch 2.
What you just saw was Mario Kart World, launching exclusively
Mario
on Nintendo
Kart
Switch
World.
2.
Isn't that what I
Now,
called it?
What do you think this brand new Mario Kart game will be like?
A brand new entry in the Mario Kart series is launching exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Welcome to this
Oh my
vast
God.
world.
This
Kart
is my
races are
pitch.
held throughout
Shane had an
various
idea for
regions that
Mario
span the
Kart
globe.
on an old series we did.
Depending on the time of day
yeah,
and
this is
weather
sounding a lot like
conditions, the atmosphere will change.
This is my pitch. This is actually my pitch. I came up with this years ago.
And
We
in
did a
this
video
Mario
on it.
podcast.
You can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world.
Oh my God.
All right.
In
This
the
is my
classic Grand
game.
Prix, race
I
through
literally
4 courses
designed
in a
this.
bid
Like-
for first place.
What?
But don't sleep at the
we're not
wheel.
saying that
You'll
Nintendo
also
took this
drive
from
to the next
Shane,
course as part of the
but
competition.
he pitched a very, very similar idea
With
to this.
24
This
drivers
isn't.
in
This is
each
our first
race,
episode
the
of Next
most in
Game, our
series
other
history.
channel. This
The
is literally.
competition is gearing up. Introducing Knockout Tour. Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another.
That's literally. It's literally my pitch. It's everything in my
There are
pitch.
All right,
multiple
so,
checkpoints
someone
along
has
the
to
way.
cut together this
You're below the
trailer
placement
with,
shown
with
when
what
hit a
you
checkpoint,
pitched in that
you'll
video.
Be eliminated. Can you make it all the way to the finish line?
Shane, do you work for Nintendo? Be honest.
Apparently,
You can
someone
also
that works for
freely drive
Nintendo
around
watches
this vast
Rerez.
world in free roam.
If
By
there's like.
going off-road, you can explore new areas and routes. So drive wherever your heart takes you.
If there's anything to do with like, I think it was tires and
You
stuff.
can
I think that
also
was
go
one of the
for
mechanics.
scenic drives with friends. And even take photos together at different locations.
I'm loving this, by the way.
Yeah,
I
it's fantastic.
I wanted to play
Yes,
this game, right?
This is the
my
idea
dream
you
game.
wanted. Absolutely.
Bradley, let's say that. Congrats, you got Nintendo'd by Nintendo on a world scale. Yes,
A brand
yes, you
new
did.
race across the entire world starts here.
I think you called it Mario Kart World.
I did call it Mario Kart World.
The game launches on the same day as Nintendo
So I need
Switch
you
2.
to predict a lot of other
More
titles that we haven't
details
seen in a
about
long
this
time,
title
just
will
to
be
see
shared
them
in
come
an
to fruition.
upcoming Mario Kart World Direct. So be on the lookout for more
That is
information.
shocking.
If they have
That
a,
is almost my exact pitch.
if they make a roguelike Star Fox and show
Mario
it
Kart
off,
World
I'm gonna be
launches on the
so
same day
pissed.
as Nintendo Switch 2. We'll share more details in the future.
Great
so we
minds
hope you're
think
looking forward
alike.
to it.
You'll be hearing from my lawyers.
Next, we'd like to introduce some of the new features of Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay.
Oh, beautiful. Come on, mouse.
These are the Joy-Con 2 controllers for Switch 2.
I love that guy's shirt.
And on the right Joy-Con 2, we've added a new C button.
Oh yeah, I heard rumors about this.
Let's take a look at some new experiences it
It's a
offers.
cake button, so when you push it, they just throw a cake at your
I
face.
heard it could connect to a second screen, but that sounds a little far-fetched to me.
I'm still ahead of all of you guys.
Oh. Is the audio delayed now?
That was me. That was you. So quick. Oh no! Wait, no.
Yeah, because Shane, you're getting the direct audio from Chrome. Do you want me to like
It
pause
sound-
the direct or something?
Reload the direct. It sounds like they're maybe it's happening on their end.
Introducing Game Chat, a new
Oh,
feature
yeah, it
for
happened on their
Nintendo
end.
Switch 2.
Hey, what's up?
Yep, nothing you can do. Oh,
Hi.
Wow.
there you go. So they
With
actually
this
have.
finally have
feature,
chat.
You'll
We
be
have chat.
able to
We were just talking
communicate
about
with
that.
friends and family while playing a game.
Looks like Discord.
Yeah, follow me.
Okay.
For an adventure.
While using the Game Chat feature, your voice is recognized by a microphone built into the system.
Nice,
But you're
nice.
still behind me, right? Alright, let's keep going. Okay.
It
Oh
can
wow,
pick
the
up your
microphone's
speaking
pretty
voice
far away.
I
clearly,
know, and
even
close to the
from a
TV
distance.
speakers. That's a
Jump
little.
on here. Alright, let's
funky.
keep going. It's coming. Let's make a left right here. Let's make a.
When it's noisy around you, your voice will still come through clearly, letting
Well,
you chat with ease.
Okay.
They're saying it still works well.
Okay, nice.
It does look beautiful.
Yeah, reload the stream
And
just
you can
briefly.
use this
too.
feature
Is
in
it- is it
handheld
wo-
mode too, letting you easily chat with friends and family. If you open the chat menu,
No, I'm
and
wondering if
turn
their
on game
stream
screen
is
sharing,
broken.
Good job, good job. There we go, there we go.
you can
Yeah, I
also
guess
share
that's
your
true.
game screen.
Did you see someone just like go on top of that dinosaur?
Really? They can do that?
Maybe that's how their game chat works. It's just really delayed when people are talking.
Oh, shoot. Oh, he's trying to eat me. He's trying to eat me.
Okay, I got it.
I always prefer a microphone to be nice and close. So I'm hoping this works out really well.
They're saying that the tech
You can
is
chat
able to pick up your
heart's
voice
content,
despite other
even
sounds.
while playing different
I
games.
like that you can be playing different
Yeah, I know
games.
that one.
That's
So hard,
important.
That's cool.
Our friends used to do that all the time on the 360. We'd always like hang out and talk like that. I want that
Okay,
again.
we got it. We're safe.
This is awesome.
And it's great that you actually see what they're playing.
So cute.
I don't know how well it's going to work, but I like this
Yeah,
idea.
it looks a little framey.
You can adjust the size of your game screen,
Guys, I'm lost. Like,
Where'd you go?
or expand another friend's game screen.
You gotta get above that wall.
Yeah, it does look like it's a little bit.
They're not trying to hide how
No.
it works for sure. They're telling us that this is what it's going to be like. Looks like a bit of a slideshow, but
So everyone can watch them play.
it's an interesting take on just the social nature of the system.
Yeah, yeah.
ooh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Let's take a picture here.
Okay, are you ready?
Smile.
Wow, if that's coming straight from the stream, that's embarrassing.
Pose mix.
Yeah, the
On
native
the
stream
right
is
Joy-Con
desynced.
2 controller, there's an
Dude.
additional button.
Oh, that's bad.
With the
You
C
can't
button,
desync
you can pull
your.
up a chat
I hope the
menu.
rest of the stream's okay. Because if they did that, that's bad for Nintendo. They're trying to show off how cool their new online feature is, and their video desynced.
Here, you can quickly and easily mute yourself and more. And there's this.
Oh,
By connecting
Nintendo
this
Switch 2
camera to
camera.
the system.
Hey.
Hey, what's up? Hello.
okay. I love all these ideas. This presentation is ultra embarrassing. Like this is
You can appear
unfortunate.
on screen
Yeah, to get
and
the full
video chat
experience,
while
we're gonna have to
playing
wait
a game.
until this thing is just placed online, completely synced well.
Here's
But
how
I
it
want
works
all
with
these
just the
features. I've
camera.
wanted all these
Yeah,
features on the Switch for a
and
while. So yeah, this is great.
This looks like an answer to a lot of
Please
the
look forward to
like
games which use your
it
camera
looks
feed
like
like
they
this.
might have some sort of like Twitch style streaming tech going.
Yeah.
I'll let you fix
Go a
it.
little more this way.
Was that a new Mario Kart or party?
Using game chat.
The
Even
steak
when
cutting
you're apart,
mini
you
game
can
was in
play
Jamboree,
games
so
and
it could
hang
have been
out as
Jamboree.
if you were together in the same room. Play
Yeah,
together,
I'm wondering if they're
or
going to lean
compete in
more
online
into
multiplayer games.
broadcasting as well.
Okay, playing
Chat while
Splatoon with
playing
your
your personal
team, being able to
favorites.
strategize and everything, I like that, and you'll be able to see where everybody is.
Decide your own rules for a retro game competition. Or hold a sports competition between families.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of
Altogether,
software that you'd be able to play on the original
anywhere.
Switch. I think they want
Game
to
chat.
bury the lead on the new stuff.
It said
did you think?
compatible USB cameras, so
In
it
developing
you
Game
probably can
Chat,
use other cameras
our
too.
goal was
That's
for you
great.
to enjoy
I like their
playing
camera. It
online
looks
with
pretty
others
low
more
profile.
closely.
You know,
Yeah, I like that it had the
Including family and
stand so that it kind of like stands out
Almost
and
as if
it's not
you're
coming
all
from the
playing
bottom.
together in the same
You don't want to
place.
get up nose vision for everybody, you know?
pretty
The
low
camera you saw in the
profile.
trailer
You
is
know,
the
if it's near
Nintendo
your
Switch
TV,
2
it doesn't look
camera,
like a weird
which will
toy
be
or
available
something.
on the same day as Switch 2.
Well, those are going to sell out.
A Nintendo Switch Online membership will be required to use Game Chat. However, since we'd like as many people as possible to experience Game Chat, it will be available without a membership for
Oh,
a
that's
limited
nice.
time. We hope you'll
good
try
idea.
it out.
Until March 31st, 2026.
Additionally, Game Chat supports the Nintendo Switch Parental Controls app.
So it's
and
coming
different
out before
settings can be
March.
adjusted. For example,
Confirmed.
whether
I
wonder
parental
if it's gonna have a
permission is
nudity
always required
sensor.
when a child wants to use Game Chat to play
That's
with their
because
friends.
cameras, that causes a problem. That was an issue with the Xbox
We'd like to
360 when they were
introduce another
introducing
new experience
webcam
you can
stuff.
share with family and friends.
It was Uno, I think, had lots of nudity on it.
On Nintendo Switch, even if you just have one game, you can pass
I know
a
you're telling
Joy-Con
the truth,
controller to
but-
a friend and play together.
Sounds like I'm making it
But
up.
on
I'm not.
Nintendo Switch 2,
But
you
I'm
can play
assuming
together
your
locally on
connectivity is going to
multiple
be
systems using just one game.
very truncated
Game
to your
share.
friend group, and
I
As
assume,
shown
yeah.
So
here,
hopefully that
even
helps.
games that require multiple screens can be
Hey,
played
Uno.
if one person owns a compatible game.
Just a bunch of
With
naked
Game
people
Share,
underneath
you can
it.
temporarily share compatible games with others who also have Nintendo Switch 2 or a Nintendo Switch system. You can share a game with up to 3 other systems at a time. GameShare also supports online play with other Switch 2 systems, and you can use it with friends via Game Chat, which we
That's
showed
pretty
earlier.
cool.
GameShare can only be used with compatible games. This
Oh,
feature
so
is
older
planned for
games are
several
going to be
titles,
updated for this.
starting with a free
Clubhouse
update for
51 games is
51
so
Worldwide
good.
Classics
Oh, did you get
on
it?
Nintendo
Don't
Switch.
sleep on
Yeah?
that.
Ooh.
Sorry.
GameShare
Yeah,
support
it is really
is
good.
also
Yeah,
planned
I've
for
heard.
select
Haven't played it
games
yet.
exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2, so we hope you'll look forward to it.
Up next,
Is it magnets?
we'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2
Wow, that would have
system
been way
itself.
better if it wasn't
Yeah,
synced.
yeah.
Please take a look.
Are they going to stop the stream and restart it again? Like, guys, you desynced the video.
At 7.9 inches, Switch 2 has a bigger
Ah.
built-in screen. Here's how that
Okay,
compares
so
to
yeah,
Nintendo
about
Switch.
8 inches.
The system's thickness remains the same.
Ooh. So 1080?
With approximately
Yeah,
double the
1080?
pixels compared to Switch, you can enjoy games in greater detail
Nice.
on the 1080p
1080.
screen.
Okay. That's good for portable.
Yeah,
That's nice to
absolutely,
see, yeah.
absolutely. What?
120 frames per second.
You can hit 120
Come
frames per
on.
second.
120
That's big.
frames
That's
per second.
huge.
That's a big
Allowing
That
for
is
smoother
huge.
gameplay in supported titles.
So 120
I can't
hertz.
believe this.
I honestly didn't think that was going to happen.
A Super Mario Brothers platform game that's
The
120 frames per
LCD
second.
screen
Yes.
is more vivid.
And Nintendo
and
will try to
supports
hit those.
HDR,
HDR.
providing more contrast
HDR, yeah.
between light and
Yeah.
dark
Oh, man,
areas
I am-
of the
I-
image.
that's- yeah.
I'm super excited for
That is
this
really
alone.
cool.
Yeah.
The all-new Joy-Con 2 controllers
You know what the biggest
connect
problem is, folks?
magnetically.
Magnetic. Yep,
Strong
magnets.
magnets keep the
attachment.
controllers
Using magnets,
firmly
man.
attached to the
We're going to be
system.
talking about the 120 frames
Detach
per
your
second thing. It's a big
controller
deal
easily
here.
by pressing the release button on the back. The SL and
That's
SR
a nice
buttons
idea,
are bigger
'cause they
for
really
greater
were
comfort
tiny.
and control
Absolutely.
when playing with a Joy-Con 2 held horizontally. The left and right sticks are now
Won't
larger.
break.
Okay, but
Mouse controls confirmed.
mouse controls.
Each
For
Joy-Con,
Joy-Con?
2 controller
Oh, okay.
can be used as a mouse to play with
Nice.
compatible games.
Oh, man.
Both the left and right Joy-Con 2 support mouse controls.
So that was double-handed.
Yes,
mouses. Okay,
yes.
cool.
By adjusting the audio
We can
balance
see some
between the
interesting
ranges,
software, man.
Sounds from the built-in speakers are clearer and more natural in handheld and tabletop modes. It has a built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends anytime via Game Chat. It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds, so your voice will come through clearly.
Okay.
Even if you don't have a surround sound system, games can be enjoyed with more immersive, three-dimensional sound, as if it were coming from all around you. Place your Nintendo Switch 2 however you like with a large, sturdy stand.
This is the
can move
OLED
it freely,
style
like this.
stand.
Yeah.
I think it goes even further though, eh?
2 USBs.
Yeah, one on top,
In
one on the
addition to
bottom.
the
I don't know
USB-C
why.
port found on the
Because
bottom
when
of the
you're
system,
charging it at the
there's
bottom,
one
you can
on
plug
top
something
as
in on the top.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. So charge in or plug in your Pro
It's
controller
handy
or something.
for connecting a
Like that.
USB-C camera
Awesome.
or charging in tabletop mode.
Oh, clever!
Tabletop mode.
That's freaking
folks.
clever, man.
Yeah, I always hated that about the initial Switch.
Yeah.
They didn't have that.
Nintendo Switch 2
Got a
comes with
super chat.
256 gigabytes of internal storage. 8
Nice.
times
All right.
that of Nintendo Switch for storing your game downloads,
Super chat from Ace
save
Bandit.
data, and
Motion
more.
controls.
So far,
Reading
we're
and writing
getting
data
mousey
is also
controls.
faster.
4K support.
There you go.
Use
This
the
is it.
Nintendo Switch 2
It's
dock
basically what we
to
wanted.
connect
Yep.
to your TV
That's solid,
and enable
man.
up to 4K resolution for compatible games. HDR is also supported in TV mode.
Okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they can hit 120
The
FPS in
Nintendo
4K?
Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan that keeps your
I
system
don't know.
cool. This helps keep performance stable.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be harsh. Like this
On
4K.
Nintendo Switch 2, you can play Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical and digital games are supported.
They're checking all the freaking boxes
Yeah.
for me, man.
There's not a bad thing here.
I'm so jazzed about this now.
Folks, 120 frames per second on the console is important because you might not have a big TV that's 120 frames per second,
you just
but
saw,
everybody that buys a
Nintendo Switch
Switch
2
2 will
isn't
have it
simple.
on the
They have
Switch.
parity, yeah. If
That's
you have that
perfect.
thing undocked and it's hitting
We
120,
redesigned the
that's a
system
game
from the
changer.
ground up
That's going to
and
push
packed in
all
lots of
developers
new
to focus at
gameplay
120
features.
frames per second as a big deal.
And
This
to help
is
players
huge.
better understand the Switch 2 hardware, we're currently developing this game. Mr. Kawamoto!
Ooh, software.
Okay.
My current location is actually inside the game itself.
Oh my god.
This is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour,
Oh.
exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2.
Is it like Nintendo Land?
Is this what they were play
I'm standing
testing
over
before?
here.
Remember they were play testing like a social?
Everyone,
I think
join
so,
me
yeah.
inside the game. There are a lot of question mark icons here. Let's examine them. This sign reads, "Where are the magnets?" The Joy-Con 2 controllers attach to the system with magnets. And those magnets are inside the system. The SL and SR buttons on the Joy-Con 2 are made of metal. So that's how they attach to the
cool.
system.
So they're
really
literally the
A magnetic
thing
circuit is
snapping
formed
onto it.
between them, so they won't easily detach.
Clever.
Through examining signs like these, you can discover all sorts of secrets about Nintendo Switch 2. Another example, the Joy-Con 2 controllers have mouse controls. And when combined with the gyroscopes, you can even do something like this.
Yes. Okay.
You can adjust the position of the golf
Mice
club and
don't
aim for the
have
cup by
gyroscopic
rotating the
elements. They
Joy-Con
don't
2.
have that right now. But what Nintendo just introduced is that you have
By
the ability to
combining the mouse
rotate the
controls
mouse,
and
meaning that you can
gyroscopes,
actually move
things like
things
this
around in
are
a specific
possible.
Yeah.
orientation. That
That's-
is unique
There are
to the
secrets
Switch.
to
That's
discover,
exciting.
even
That's
as
Years,
you're
really
playing
years ago,
minigames
someone
and
did
tech
that
demos.
with Windows XP. It was a gyroscopic
Some
mouse
of
that
the
had the ability to
secrets
do that,
range from
but
the unique
Windows
features
could
of the
natively
system
utilize it. So Nintendo
to
just
tiny
introduced a
details you
feature
might not
that
notice until
changes
they're
the
pointed out.
game.
There are
Okay,
plenty.
you're playing a first-person shooter and you want to zoom in on your
Nintendo
scope,
Switch
you
2
twist the
Welcome Tour
mouse.
Yeah,
will
yeah,
launch
that'd be
as
cool.
a paid digital game on the same
Everyone's
day
going
as
to be talking
Nintendo
about
Switch
that.
2.
If
So
they
please
don't,
check it
they
out
don't
if you're
know.
interested.
Oh, you have to
Now,
buy that?
I'd like to share some
Oh,
more
I'm not doing that.
information
Oh, the
regarding
welcome-
I'm not
Nintendo
buying
welcome
Switch
tour.
2.
I'm not, well, I'm not buying a welcome tour again.
This is the game card for Nintendo Switch 2 titles.
I mean, I probably go.
They have to.
It's the same shape as Nintendo Switch
Oh,
game
okay.
cards,
So
but it's now red.
no weird
and it has
proprietary
much
design
faster
for the
data
new
reading
cards.
speeds.
So they're going to be red.
Next up is additional storage. Switch 2 will only work with micro SD express cards. They're a different type of SD card and will make high-speed data transfers possible.
That's not a bad thing. You probably want to have that kind of.
Please note that regular micro SD
They're
cards used for
third party.
Nintendo
They don't
Switch
make
will
those
not be
exclusive.
compatible.
Yeah, we're seeing Samsung and SanDisk.
Additionally, to transfer data from Switch to Switch 2, you can log into your Nintendo account to use the System Transfer feature. With this feature, you can transfer save data,
They always
digital
make those
games,
fun with like a little
and
box
more.
moving stuff around.
Yeah.
We're also releasing a new Pro controller.
Nice.
It has a C button, which launches Game Chat, and on the
Okay.
back there are new GL
headphone-
and GR
headphone
buttons,
jack.
which you can
Headphone
use
jack.
to assign existing button controls.
Nice. Paddles.
Nice.
In addition, an audio jack has been added. We've introduced a few new features, and after today's presentation, the official Nintendo Switch 2 website will go live. There will also be an Ask the Developer article on the website, where the three of us will
Oh,
talk
that
about
mouse
the development
rotation
of
thing.
Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, buddy.
We hope you'll check that out as
people
well.
don't even know.
And I want to see.
And now,
you know,
the
Nintendo's
Nintendo
going to do
Switch 2
something cool
launch
with
date.
it. Something funky.
Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th.
June 5th.
All right.
We're very
yeah.
much
I
looking
was
forward to
hearing
the day when you
possibly
all get to
June.
experience it, so please wait
When are
just a bit
pre-orders
longer.
going live? That's what I want to know.
Now, broadly speaking, on Nintendo Switch 2, you can play 3 types of games.
That's it.
The first type is Nintendo Switch 2 games. These games take advantage of the performance and features of Switch 2.
Okay.
The second type
The
is
third one is going to be
compatible
Virtual
games that will
Boy.
release
It's
on
going to
Nintendo
blow
Switch.
everyone's minds.
Nintendo Switch 2 edition games are the third type.
Oh.
Some games that were released on Switch will receive upgraded versions that offer things like improved
Nice.
visuals,
Nice.
unique ways to play on Switch 2,
Okay.
and more.
DLSS.
Now, I'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Okay, this is really cool.
Please take a
If they
look.
use if 4K is done with the DLSS method, they can actually get their older games to go to
Super
4K
Mario
or
Party
higher
Jamboree is
higher
getting
frame
an
rates
upgrade
because
on
they have the
Nintendo
ability
Switch
to
2.
interpolate the frames in between.
The upgrade expands on the base game
This is
and
great.
adds new
They're
features,
giving you a
including
reason to
mouse
hold on or
controls,
buy that older software.
And supporting the physical,
Yeah.
right? I
audio
mean,
recognition,
And digital as well.
Or
Like, this is for both
expressive
physical and
rumble.
digital.
and gameplay that
oh, they're
uses
actually
a camera
introducing new features.
accessory,
like
Yeah,
that, too.
yeah. This is Super
Oh.
Mario
which
Party
can
Jamboree.
be accessed on Switch 2. Let's
And
check
it's getting
out
weird.
3 new and
It's
updated modes.
It's getting real weird, guys.
Again,
First
you know,
up is Mario
your uncle
Party
with his
mode.
shirt off, dancing in a
With
pipe
single
is
camera, up to 4
something that
players
we're
can
gonna have to
join
deal
the
with.
festivities. You'll be able to see each
Okay,
other's
I'm all
faces
about
as
this.
you play, so
Knowing
you
that
can
my older
experience
games
all
are
the
going to come forward with me and get
reactions
upgrades,
and
this
emotions
is
in
one of
real
the
time.
big reasons.
Or
Please
4
do
friends
not
can take the
paywall
party
this.
online.
Oh, yeah, they didn't say.
Up
You have to buy the
next,
game
it's
again?
Bowser Live, a mode
Yeah,
where
we're
the
gonna have to
live
see.
player team
Okay.
wins.
Because
Bowser will bring you on stage
that's true.
2.
3 game types.
Hit
Okay.
blocks to collect the most
When,
coins.
when you were bringing over some of your purchases
Ride an RC car with your
from the Wii to the Wii U, remember there was a
and
bit of a
compete in
paywall to
other
just to
mini
get those games
using
over
full
there.
body movement and sound. Finally, take a
And again,
ride
like,
on the
I mean
mouse-controlled
specifically the
Carnival coaster.
bringing
With the
over
safety
old
bar
games,
lowered and
that's
secured,
free. But these
you're
Switch
off.
2 edition
upgrade,
games,
yes,
I think they might
yeah.
be a paid
Use
thing.
mouse controls
Yeah,
to
we'll have
shoot
to-
down
I won't be
enemies while you
surprised.
feel the bumps
Okay, look,
and rumbles
so-
of the coaster.
The mouse is actually being used as an aiming reticle. So there you go.
You got
When
your
you
first person
enter a
shooter
pipe,
right there.
a
Well, I mean,
minigame
it's like a
will
weird
begin.
third
Literally
person
an on-rail
roller
There's
coaster.
a
Yes,
bouldering game.
literally
2
an on-rail.
players each control an arm.
Donkey Kong, King of Swing,
and one
nice.
where you shake a can of spray paint and quickly tag objects. Enjoy the thrill of these
New ways
intuitive
to play,
minigames.
man.
Yeah.
How
That's
quickly
awesome.
can you reach the station? From minigames that use
I'm
a
with you though.
camera,
I'm waiting for them to
the
do something
built-in
cool with the
microphone,
gyroscope
mouse
and the
controls,
mouse.
and rumble.
Okay,
The biggest party
guaranteed
yet is
Metroid
getting
Prime
even
4
bigger.
is going to have a
Super
Switch
Mario Party
exclusive
Jamboree,
version or whatever.
Nintendo Switch
Or sorry,
2
a
edition,
Switch for
plus
a 2 version.
I don't know that we're going to see Metroid
launches
Prime
on
4
Nintendo
here.
Switch
No,
2
but I think
July
I think a
24th.
Switch 2 edition
Yeah.
version, so it has those like you
Nintendo
can play it on
Switch
both
2
systems.
players who already own Super Mario Party Jamboree can upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 edition plus Jamboree TV by purchasing an upgrade pack.
Upgrade pack.
Okay.
Okay. So
That's
Please
for
look
that
forward to a
specific
new
one though,
Mario
Yeah.
because
Party
that's an
experience,
expansion.
where you
Yeah.
can see each other's reactions while playing.
They haven't said that it's across
Let's
the board
continue
yet.
presenting some more Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What are you doing for breath?
Stable frame rate?
Nintendo Switch 2 editions of The
I mean,
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild
upping the frame
and
rate
The
would be
Legend
a
of Zelda
huge
Tears
thing.
of the Kingdom feature enhanced resolution and frame rates,
Nice.
Cool.
and also support HDR.
That game
which makes the
deserved
image more
HDR.
vibrant,
Absolutely.
so you can play with smoother, higher definition graphics.
It's fantastic.
That sells the Switch 2 for a lot of
Plus,
people already.
You can get even more out of your adventures in Hyrule using Zelda Notes. This new feature can be accessed via the Nintendo Switch app on smart devices. It's a
I don't know what-
game-specific
They're really trying to
service
sell
that's
that app.
exclusive to the Switch 2 editions of these titles. For example, it can
Okay,
help guide
yep.
you to various locations.
That
like
makes
shrines and
sense.
Koroks
It
you
is
haven't
such a
found
big
yet.
game, and you do need
Guidance
to take
activated.
notations of where you're going sometimes.
Proceed north.
You have a GPS system.
A GPS.
You have a GPS system for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Or
Can we get...
you can share
I mean,
your
it looks like it's
creations
using your
QR
phone. I don't
codes
think
and
it
send them
matters
to
that
another
like
player
that
to
doesn't
create
that
in
shouldn't
their
be a
game.
Switch 2 feature. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, if they make this free, they're gonna win all
We
the
hope these
coin in the
features will
world.
make
We're
your
not seeing
adventures
anything
even
that
more enjoyable.
screams it should be paid,
Yeah.
a paid upgrade, but we'll have to see. Okay. Forgotten Land was fantastic. I
Yeah.
In
loved my
Kirby and the
time with that
Forgotten
game.
Land, you'll be
I haven't
able
played
to
it yet,
enjoy
so now I'm
an
gonna wait.
additional story
Really great title.
exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, along with improved graphics and frame rates.
Everybody at home, what are you thinking about this so far? Are you liking this? Or are you because this is the
story
kind of
takes
stuff
place
I've
in the
wanted them to
Forgotten
do.
Right.
after
Like right
being
now,
struck
you're
by
just
a
seeing some
powerful
sort of
meteor
old
that's
stuff
causing
being
some
revamped, and we
mysterious
understand that
changes.
that's not the most exciting thing, but it's sort of setting a
We
precedent
hope
for
you're
what
looking
they
forward
want
to
the
Kirby's
newer
new
software to be like. Higher fidelity, higher frame rates.
Your old games are
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will have both a
I did
Nintendo
not.
Switch
I did not
and a
think they would
Nintendo
show
Switch 2
anything
edition.
beyond here because they just showed it off at the other direct. Color me wrong. Mouse integration. Mouse
In
integration.
addition to
There it is.
standard controls,
Dude!
Yep.
you can use mouse controls for intuitive gameplay on Switch 2.
It's over.
Plus,
But
you can explore the immersive
they were
world
they were
in
they were
4K
tilting the
at 60
mice.
frames per
The-
second.
the mouse, yeah.
The
Or
mouse, so
enjoy
that he could
smoother
like quickly
action in full
aim over to the
HD
left.
at 120 frames per second.
4K 60.
Choose from these
120
three,
frames
both
per
of which
second
support
HDR?
Oh,
based on your
man.
preference
This
and
is it.
playstyle.
Come on.
Even just locked 60
Plus-
would have been exciting.
Pokemon
Yeah.
Legends ZA, which is scheduled to launch later this year, will
Oh,
not
this
only
is-
receive
this
a
is
Nintendo
beautiful.
Switch
Yeah, it looks-
version,
it looks
but a
better.
Nintendo Switch 2 edition as well.
The original
By taking
Nintendo Switch
advantage
version of
of the
ZA
Power
looked pretty muddy.
You can
This is
enjoy
looking
your
slightly
adventure in
better.
Lumio
Vincent
City with
O'Connor sent in a
enhanced
super chat.
resolution
This
and
is super
frame
cool
rates.
if I don't have to buy
Tears of the Kingdom again.
They didn't look like they.
I-
oh, here we go.
Nintendo Switch 2 edition games you just saw will be available as both physical and digital
So
versions.
they didn't mention
Say the magic word.
a pay bump.
And if you already own the Nintendo Switch version of a game,
Upgrade pack.
you can play the Nintendo Switch 2 edition by purchasing an upgrade pack.
Ah.
Okay,
We
not
hope
a
you're
big fan
looking
of
forward
that.
to
Yeah,
these Nintendo
but
Switch 2
having the
edition
option
games.
is wonderful.
Yeah. Okay.
Next,
I'll give him
I'd
that.
like to introduce a brand new game featuring mouse controls with the Joy-Con 2 controllers.
I'm not a big fan of having to pay for upgrade paths.
Please
but
take a look.
Nintendo has done it in the
better
past.
be cheap. It better
yeah,
be cheap.
yeah. $5,
Yeah.
probably 10. It's that DJ game you've always wanted, Shane. Oh, interesting.
So they really are focusing on the idea that you can use two mice at once.
Yeah. Drag and drive. Drag cross drive.
I can see. Yeah. That'll be weird. People are not used to using two mice at the same time. I've actually done it for like I was using two computers at the same time. It gets a little bit weird.
You're a pro
But
gamer.
this is a new kind of implementation. I don't know. It's going to be weird to see how people actually deal with this.
This looks like it's almost like a Rocket League style
Yeah.
title. It's the gameplay seems a little slower, but maybe you need that with the mouse controls.
Yeah. That looked a little bit funky. More or less interested because of the actual controls on this game, not so much the gameplay.
Various moves.
Yeah, if we saw this without the new control mechanic, I wouldn't be too excited.
Next,
but yeah, I
here
want
are
to know
some
how it
games
works
from our
and how it
publishing and
feels.
development partners coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Is it
Wow.
Elden Ring?
Wow.
Is it Elden Ring? Or
It's
is
Elden Ring.
Or is it the new not Shadow of the Erd Tree, the other? I think it's just straight up Elden Ring. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is a very big deal.
A huge deal. Okay, if they hit 120 frames per second on this, this game barely ran for 50 frames.
I mean, it's looking a tiny bit choppy. It's not the greatest looking version of Elden Ring, but it looks good.
Kai, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member.
Yeah, thank
Tarnished
you.
Edition.
Tarnished Edition, okay. Yeah, the original Switch had Dark Souls, I think, at launch, or the launch within the launch window. Hades?
These guys are good.
Hades 2?
Hades 2 is coming
Nice.
to Nintendo Switch 2. Our first ever sequel introduces
Love
the
the original.
Princess of the Dead, an immortal witch out to vanquish the sinister Titan of Time.
Can they do one that has
battle beyond the
Hades
underworld
1
to the
in the
ends
same
of the
cart
earth.
too, so that we
We're
get
getting to know dozens
probably.
of characters from
That'd be
Greek myth
nice.
in a story that reacts to your every
What I
setback.
want in a Hades game now is
The kind of
local
game
co-op.
You can quickly pick up and play whether you're experienced
There are other
with the
games that do
original or
it
not.
in a similar vein
Look for more about
to Hades
2
gameplay.
later this year.
Capcom?
皆さんこんに
Nice.
ちは。カプコンの中山です。我々がお届けするタイトルはストリートファイター6です。
Nice. It's a no-brainer.
本体を持ち寄っての対戦はもちろん、任天堂スイッチ2だけの新モードもあります。ソフトは通常版の他に総勢26キャラクターを収録した Years 1-2 Fighters Edition の2バージョンを
Okay, so yeah, that's a pretty big collection.
連動する
Oh,
アミーボとアミー
yeah.
ボカードも一緒
I
に
forgot Amiibo still exists.
Yeah, and the sensors are integrated into the system.
Initiating Arsenal boot sequence. Weapon safety mechanism
Is
confirmed.
this Vanquish?
All
Oh my God,
operating
could you
at
imagine?
Normal levels. Testing data
No.
link with Slime. Normal. Commencing launch.
After 2 long wars where our freedom was restricted, we will finally be liberated from humans.
I'm in need of a new arsenal, new equipment, and money. I'm for sale, and you're buying.
Rebels! Is this still Capcom?
Thanks for the warm welcome.
Yeah.
This planet will be ours.
This has a Namco look to it.
You're thinking like a Xenoblade style look. The gameplay's not Xenoblade.
all humanity.
No! Because we're in the middle of a war. Don't you get it?
I won't just stop you. I'll tear you apart!
Oh, Daemon X Machina. Okay. So this is the sequel to the Daemon X Machina title that came out on the Switch, which was a great mech
Hey, this is Joseph
shooter.
Forrest from Hazelight.
I wonder if he's going
I'm
to swear.
super excited for Split Fiction to come to Nintendo Switch 2.
Nice.
The game is a story about friendship. You play as Mio, who writes sci-fi, and Zoe, who writes fantasy.
I still haven't
Together,
played
they
this,
get
but I've
trapped in their
played,
own
I think,
stories,
all of
and it's up to
Hazelight's
you and a friend
output,
to help
and
them break
I
free.
love this developer's
Let me
titles.
tell
I
you
can't
this,
wait to play this.
if you like
Had a great
It
time
Takes
with It
Two,
Takes Two.
You're gonna love this one, trust me.
I haven't played any
Of
one of their
course,
games all the
you'll
way
be
through.
able to play Split
Not even
Fiction on the
Brothers?
day
Not even
Switch
Brothers?
2
Oh, wow.
launches.
Yeah, we tried to play It Takes Two, but my controller was broken, so I didn't have a good time.
Bringing fans together across the world, both on the pitch and on the gridiron. We're excited to announce that
Oh,
EA
yeah.
Sports FC will
Woo,
be coming
yeah.
to Nintendo Switch
EA
2.
Sport- I don't care.
Madden NFL will also be
I just
arriving
don't care
on the
about sports
Nintendo
games.
platform. EA Sports.
They're just announcing
It's in
that
the
they
game.
are, in fact, making games for the,
Hi, I'm Alan Tu
the
from
system.
Avalanche Software. We are bringing Hogwarts Legacy
But
to
it's
Nintendo
nice to
Switch
see so much third-party support
With
out of the
enhanced
gate.
graphics
This
and
is something
seamless
that
world transitions.
you want to sell your
You'll be immersed
console.
in
You
a
want
Wizarding
people on
world
board.
like never
We gotta remember
And the new
that
mouse
when the
controls on
original
Switch
Switch
2
came
give
out,
you even more
because of how
ways to
poorly
experience the
the
adventure.
Wii U performed, like the
Discover the enhanced
third-party
magic when
support,
Hogwarts
it
Legacy
was
launches
kind of an
on the same day
unknown
as Switch 2.
quantity then, so people were a little dicey whether or not they wanted to release their titles on the new Nintendo platform. Oh, Tony Hawk, 3 and 4, nice. Yeah, it seems like third parties are buying in, pretty well here.
I mean, I guess it was a newer, like the previous game had already come out.
Yeah,
the
1 and 2
Harry Potter one, right? This one, it's like this is actually like
For those of you who are watching that are like, oh, we're not seeing too much new. Well, Daemon X Machina was new, and yeah.
I was just surprised that they could actually get Elden Ring portable.
I know.
Oh. That was SpongeBob.
Yeah, that was not in the original versions of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
Hello, this is Christian Elverdam from IO Interactive.
Hitman.
We are bringing
best game for you. Super good game.
That's for you.
Signature edition
to Nintendo Switch 2.
Can you assassinate Mario?
As the best assassin in the trade, Agent 47 does everything he can to accomplish his mission. And how each mission progresses.
This is one of the greatest games people are not playing. It's so good.
This is the team that's working on the new Bond game, right?
The game will release on the same day as Switch 2. Plus, we are excited to bring another familiar agent to the platform.
No way.
Bond?
James Bond? We're finally going to see it. Okay, they got the license to James Bond, and they were making one based off the Hitman engine. Okay, everybody shut up. Are they going to show us who Bond is?
Yeah. Are they going to go with Craig?
No,
Craig.
We don't know. They're going to have an exclusive.
James Bond. The world's favorite spy is coming to Nintendo Switch 2. So stay tuned.
They'll probably let you switch between, maybe, if they can get the likeness to all the Bonds.
The story of light and shadow that never fades.
Oh, Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX. This is the freaking remake.
Bravely Default returns.
No, this is Bravely Default. Yeah,
It looked like Dagger. It looked like Dagger. Don't do that to me.
Change and customize jobs to build out your very own party.
I thought we were going to see. There's supposed to be a unique actor playing James Bond in those ones. So
really?
That's why I was like, oh my god.
And all new
Adam Nader just goes, okay, fine. This isn't bad.
Bravely Default is fantastic, especially the original title. It's very good.
Luxembourg as a warrior of light once more.
What?
Oh! I'm all about this. I love the Yakuza games.
Okay, we've just seen the Yakuza title starting to come to the original Switch.
Director's cut? Yakuza 0 is really good.
Oh yeah, this is basically the entry point into the series now if you haven't played it.
This was the first Yakuza game I played and I got hooked.
It's not the first Yakuza game to come out, but it's one that you should probably play if you're interested.
Canonically and narratively, it takes place before everything else. That's, well, technically there's ones that take place hundreds of years before, but just that one's the one.
There's ones with zombies too. No one talks about that one.
We'd like to show a game being developed in collaboration with Nintendo. Please take a look.
Koei Tecmo, eh?
Is it going to be another Zelda? Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we're getting another Warriors.
When the Zonai, who descended from the heavens,
I haven't played any of these games.
I hear good things. Yeah, I'm not. I don't get into Musos as much. I'm not too into them.
But in time, a terrible evil arose.
9.
A war was fought to vanquish this evil. One which future generations
I do hear that there
recall.
is like some nuance in the different series of Muso that comes out. So like the Dragon Quest one feels a little different.
Perhaps
this one feels different.
You truly have traveled back in time.
I know they all have their own little.
And Persona's Muso is supposed to be quite good. Persona 5's.
So that's Hyrule Castle?
Okay.
Then
all right, awesome.
That must mean
that's
this
actually
really
cool.
is the past.
Expanding the story, yeah. They did that with Breath of the Wild as well, with the Muso that came out.
So you'll never be Link in this game, I guess, because it looks like it's taking place in the past.
Getting more Tears of the Kingdom any way you slice it, yeah, I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
Age of Imprisonment.
I gotta be honest, that's a cool idea for the game to take place in between the storylines there. Oh yeah, you know what? I'll give it.
And now's the time to make a game without a link. We've already seen Echoes of Wisdom. Just stray away from that a bit.
That was Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment.
You know, Link will be
It's
on like
being
unlockable
developed by
ghost
Koei
or something.
Tecmo Games,
However they do
with
it.
support from Nintendo. We hope you're looking forward to the untold story
Adam
of
Nader
the
said, I
Imprisonment
snagged the
War.
first Hyrule Warriors Switch remaster years
place in
ago, and I
Hyrule
still haven't
long
touched it.
ago.
Yeah, I think I have 3 or 4 of those in the collection
And
that
now,
are just
some news
picking up
about
dust.
Nintendo Switch Online.
Okay, what are you
can
doing
continue
here?
to enjoy
GameCube?
Nintendo Switch Online
Wii?
on Switch 2.
Oh, okay. So your pass just
And
falls
with
through.
Nintendo Switch
Oh, good.
Online Plus expansion pack, you can enjoy a new
Is
membership
emulation
benefit
going to be better on the
exclusively
Switch 2 than 1?
That'd be nice.
Please take a
More
look at this.
options, at least for like your borders
4K and 64
things.
games?
That'd be cool.
Oh,
GameCube.
okay. How do you do that though? Because you need analog
Nintendo Switch
triggers.
Online Plus expansion pack will be getting a new classic game library exclusive to
They're
Nintendo
going to be releasing
Switch
the controller.
2.
You know that.
Nintendo GameCube, originally
They're
released
going to release
in
new GameCube
2001.
controllers?
Here are the titles that will
They
be
released new
available at
N64
launch.
controllers. They
A
released new Super
Legend of
Nintendo
Zelda game
controllers,
that
new
looks
NES
like a
controllers.
cartoon come
Wind
to
Waker?
life through cell shading. Controlling
Still
the
has that
wind
crappy
using a
border.
mysterious baton. Link
Unfortunately,
set sail on an adventure
GameCube Wind
across the
Waker
Great
sucks.
Sea. The
And
Legend
Wii
of
U
Zelda,
Wind Waker is
the
good.
Wind Waker.
So
Transcending history and the world.
I mean, I don't know if
A tale
anybody.
of souls
If you
and
like
swords
Wind Waker
eternally
and you
retold.
only played it on Wii U,
This
you're going to be
3D
really shocked when you go to play
weapons-based
it on the
fighting game, each
GameCube.
fighter comes
That's
equipped with
harder.
a different weapon. And Link from the Legend of Zelda series enters the fray.
That's cool to see come
Soul
back.
Calibur
absolutely.
2.
Oh, there we go.
Experience
Get
a
your
world
F-Zero
of white knuckle
GX.
racing at speeds
Do these
over
games run at
2,000
4K?
kilometers per hour. 30
Or are they running at their
machines
native
will put it
resolution?
all on the line in death-defying races.
I
Featuring
can't
the
even
series
tell.
first, machine customization and story mode.
Anti-aliasing, cleanup, anything like that would be a benefit.
F-Zero
So.
GX.
I want to say that
In
it's at
games
their
that support
original
multiplayer,
resolution right
up
now.
to 4 can play together locally or online.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like that.
Enjoy these classic games with clearer image quality and higher resolution than
Higher
the original
resolutions.
releases.
Oh man!
Oh my
there you go.
gosh!
You can also check the
This is-
controls
this
for
is
each
so
title
good.
and
Okay,
customize
okay.
them to your liking. More titles will be added in the
Nice.
future.
Path of Radiance. People need to Chibi Robo. These are expensive games if
Yeah.
people want to play them. Yeah.
Okay,
Nintendo
this is
GameCube, Nintendo Classics, the Switch 2 exclusive game library
Same day
coming
as
to
Switch 2,
Nintendo
huh?
Switch Online
Okay.
Plus expansion pack.
Okay.
And
Launches
they're
the
going
same day
to
as
release
the
that
hardware's
controller.
release.
Mark my words. There's no way they won't. They've done it for
And
every
a
other.
dedicated controller designed after the original GameCube controller will also be released. It can connect wirelessly and also has a C button to quickly access
It's a
Game
Wavebird,
Chat.
man.
It's a Wavebird with Rumble.
The Nintendo GameCube
Wavebirds
controller,
didn't have Rumble.
exclusively available
better.
for Nintendo Switch Online members, will also be available the
It would be
same
shocked.
day
I'd be
as
shocked if they
Nintendo
didn't.
Switch 2.
Jesus Little Bears said 100%
Whether
not in
you're
4K.
familiar with the games
Maybe.
or haven't played them before,
Yeah,
It
they just said higher
res,
resolution.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Forward to
if it's
Nintendo
480
GameCube,
originally, all it has to be is
Nintendo
1080 to be high res, right? Or 720.
720.
of
Yeah.
course, you can continue to play select games from the systems shown here on Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, let's see some more games
Select
from our publishing
games.
and development partners.
What did that mean?
Oh, is this Undertale or Deltarune? Deltarune.
Chapters
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 3 and 4.
Yeah, okay.
Nice. So I still haven't played beyond the first chapter of this.
I was waiting for them to all come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see a bunch of people freaking out.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of excitement over this.
Custer XAK, the -1 said, what about Metroid Prime and Melee? Metroid Prime has a remaster, so they probably don't want to re-release that on the GameCube. And in terms of Melee, but see, everyone still loves Melee. If these controllers are good and you've got Melee, I mean,
I think we will see Melee come to the storefront. It'll just be a little while.
Hey, it's Randy
He
Pitchford.
changed his shirt.
Yeah.
And his hairstyle.
Is he gonna do a magic trick?
Flagship Borderlands
I don't
game
wanna see it.
will launch on Nintendo Switch 2. Borderlands is back, loot and shoot your way through a world filled
That's
with
cool.
wild
I wasn't the
enemies and
biggest fan of
outrageous
Borderlands 3, honestly. I thought it got a little stale, but it's nice to see it come into the Switch, hopefully day and date with the other consoles.
In 2025, we'll be sharing a lot of the game in the months ahead, and there's more from 2K on the way.
Hi, I'm Dennis Shirk from Firaxis Games.
So, yeah.
We're releasing an
mouse.
There's your mouse input.
With mouse integration.
Oh my God, Borderlands with mouse input.
Yeah, exactly.
In Civ 7, you'll establish an empire.
This is beautiful.
Guide your people
There
throughout
are
the
games
ages of
I
history.
legitimately pick up on
With
PC
the new
because I
mouse
want mouse
controls,
input to know
players
that
can
Switch is
enjoy
going
a
to
more
have that.
intuitive gameplay
Man, that
experience.
is
I mean,
nice.
there
Civ
are
7
ways to
launches
use
on the same
a mouse
day
with
as
other
Switch 2.
consoles, but having it be such a front-facing thing with the system that you don't require, an extra peripheral to do. Yeah, it's really going to sell third parties on integrating that into their software.
Hi, I'm Lionel Jinks. And I'm Ben Bishop. Our final announcement for today is that WWE 2K is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Woo!
Plus NBA 2K as well.
WCW.
NBA 2K.
I want WCW versus NWO. Is that still on?
I don't know.
Is that on the service?
4 kids find this old tattered man. Off they went, armed with nothing but youthful enthusiasm and a profound
Lego?
lack of preparation. Boom!
Oh.
Terrible at steering a raft.
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies. Kill your friends. Oh, it crashed.
Oh, is that our stream that crashed? It's their stream that's. Oh my God, Nintendo.
Oh, Nintendo. No. Oh, Nintendo.
You're
Next stop.
everything else you're showing us about your system has been pretty good so far.
Nicely done.
Your stream is just not working, man.
Let's set sail. This
I
time,
can confirm it's Nintendo Stream, everybody.
Oh, are you looking at?
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Dave Crooks from Dodge Roll.
No, we're hearing it. We can still hear it.
Okay, let's listen to the fantastic Switch 2
Here's the
news.
first look at Enter the Gungeon 2.
Enter the Gungeon 2! I want to see Enter the
Dodge
Gungeon
countless
2!
bullets and aim for the Gungeon's depths
Oh
in
my
a
God.
roguelike
What?
shooter sequel. Now reloaded in a new 3D art style.
This is one of my favorite games.
We're still working on the game.
My wife would be going nuts
everybody,
right now.
everybody, it's not us.
They
This
haven't
is their
shown off
stream.
Enter the Gungeon 2 anywhere. I've not seen the screenshot.
Oh my God.
Son of a gun!
Guys, this is your console. This is your console reveal. You can't do this. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's way delayed.
Yeah, maybe they rewound their stream. Oh no!
Oh
no! Oh
Nintendo, what are you doing? Oh, buddies, come on!
Oh my gosh! I've never for a console announcement. I've never seen.
I've
this.
never seen this happen
My name is
before.
Adam Badowski from CD Projekt Red.
They should have just made the video go live. It's a stream, right?
Dark future to Nintendo players.
I think it's a pre-recorded video.
This is pre-recorded?
Yeah.
So this is a render that they just put up on.
Yeah. Dr. Crankin-Case sent us a super chat. Hi, are you having fun at the moment? Nintendo just
There's a lot of words to use to describe this, and fun is probably not one of them.
This is either YouTube or Nintendo. Yeah, someone's messed up, but like.
こんにちは。スクエアエニックスの浜口です。
Square Enix.
任天堂スイッチ2でファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインタ
Final
ーグレ
Fantasy
ード
VII
を
Remake.
発売いたします。
Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Final Fantasy VII Remake's coming to the Switch. Hold on.
3部作シリーズの1作目となり、20年以上の時を経て再創作された新しい FF7 を体験いただきます。
I'm like,
I'm trying to listen to the Japanese so I can figure out what he's saying.
I'm two ways excited right now.
ぜひメイクシリーズにぜひ
Okay. Oh, they did it. They did it.
Okay.
Okay, so integrate.
Okay,
The version
we're
that came
back,
to the
we're back.
PlayStation 5 is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Okay, it's synced up again.
Yeah.
We're back. Okay.
Okay. Why did they show Garnet? I'm almost positive that they showed Garnet earlier.
Okay, everybody.
Hollow Knight Silk Song, 2025.
Wow. Oh,
2025 is coming.
Wow. Okay.
No.
That's a weird thing to
We need a
drop.
firm release date. Well, we knew it was coming soon, but we need a firm release date. Integrate is a huge thing, Shane. Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2. I didn't even know if they were going to be able to bring that over. Just the standard edition. Integrate, which released on the PlayStation 5. That's very exciting.
I guess the Switch 2 is a lot more powerful than everyone realizes.
Yeah.
Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S? What did they add?
An S. I love the sprite work from those folks.
Still haven't played Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, I hear good things about Outlaws.
Okay, yeah, so Nintendo cleaned up the stream and fixed it. And I guarantee you somebody just got fired.
They did. They did. Well, I saw it.
Fast Fusion.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's your F-Zero.
That's my tidbit. It's a very good series. That's awesome to see. Okay.
Okay, yeah, the remaster of that Shin Megami Tensei title is pretty cool.
Oh, that looks creepy.
So we saw some of this at the Switch 1.
Oh, everybody, Fortnite. Like, you don't even have to... Yeah, of course.
Oh, Ridge Racer! Nice!
Oh, no, you gotta go back to that. I know, Professor Layton, that's cool, but you can't... that was an arcade collection.
Yeah, Arcade Archives. Okay. Yeah, they've been doing that for a while. I think that's Hamster.
Yeah, it said Hamster.
Yeah.
Human Fall Flat 2.
It's a fun game.
2? I didn't play 2.
I played 1. 2, I don't even know that it's released yet. Oh, a lot of emotions this morning, for sure, man.
So far. The next game will be the last from our publishing and development partners.
I thought it was still delayed, but he's being translated, so that's normal. Okay.
Pull my finger.
I give you my blood. I give you my life. Turn, O wheel, and transport him to a night of moonlight. To humanity's very dusk.
Is this Castlevania?
It could be. I heard that there is a new Castlevania in the works. Konami has been bringing back their From Software. Okay, interesting.
Imagine if From Software did a Castlevania game.
Oh, don't even. Dude, if the Konami logo pops up at any moment, I would freak out.
I like the aesthetic here.
It does kind of look like a Castlevania.
Like a modern or like a 19...
It's From Software, though. It's probably their own...
1910 Castlevania.
But any From Software title announcement gets me pretty excited. I've really loved their titles. It's looking like a new game. What are we looking at, though?
What is the aesthetic here?
Yeah, getting
Rocket
some
men.
We're getting some steampunk. We're getting some Castlevania punk. What is this? That's a vampire.
I think.
Oh, maybe.
It doesn't have to be Castlevania, folks. It looks good, whatever it is.
Frog.
Frog seemed happy.
I'm on board. It's a From Software title in third person.
Close your eyes and contemplate now the moon.
If there's multiplayer, I hope it's seamless and.
I pray that you are able.
Yeah, Bloodborne had like blunderbusses and stuff. Dinosaurs. I'll take it. Dino Crisis, Castlevania, Elden Ring. We got it all.
Tron.
The moon tears will flow for one. And one
You forgot to get dressed. Duskbloods.
Duskbloods. All right.
Okay, a new IP. That's exciting. That's
Yes, it
really
is.
cool.
Yeah.
From a developer that I really enjoy their output.
Maybe you get to play as the guy in the onesie.
Yeah, the onesie. Is there a poop flap? That's what everyone's going to be wondering.
Oh boy, I hope he has one.
Yep.
Because when you got to go, you don't want to have to deal
That's
with
right.
that.
Okay.
Don't ask me how I know.
What you just saw was a brand new game by From Software. We'll be publishing a creator's voice article where the game's director, Hidetaka Miyazaki, will share more
Miyazaki,
details
nice.
about the game. So please check it out when it's available.
Cool.
That's all from our publishing and development partners. We'd like to thank the developers who appeared today, as well as our publishing and
Do you think we're going
development
to see
partners.
a new 3D Mario? I think
prepared
we're
footage for this
probably going to see. It's going to be a tough follow-up to Odyssey, man. Being able
In
to
addition to what
use
you
all the
saw today,
powers of all the
Our partners
enemies.
are working on many games coming
We
to
see
Nintendo
Shigeru
Switch 2.
Miyamoto come out. It's going to be all about that.
We'll showcase more games
They'll just
in
be
the
talking
future,
about
so
how.
we hope
Or
you're
no,
looking
he's
forward
not the
to it.
designer of those games anymore. It's the other guy. I forget his name.
Next,
He
Please take
came
a
out
look
to
at
talk
this.
about an app last time, and I was a little disappointed.
I loved Odyssey. Smash Brothers?
Kirby?
Kirby.
It's my boy.
Kirby.
It's my boy.
It's my boy. Kirby's my boy.
Yeah, this is a Kirboy. Definitely. There he is.
There's Kirby. Kirby Air Ride remastered.
It could be.
It is out of sync again. That I think we're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Custer said, "What about a new Smash?" I don't know.
This could be Smash. Kirby is the most powerful character.
Air Ride.
It is. I think
It's literally
I think
Air
it is
Ride.
Air Ride.
I can't believe we're getting a new
See,
Air
this
Ride.
is the kind of Nintendo crap I love. When they're like, no one's ever gonna make another one of those.
You know that game nobody liked? Well, guess what?
The thing that blows my mind is they're introducing this at the same time that they're introducing Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you'd think that they would, I don't know, like, parse these out a little further.
I can't
Kirby Air
believe
Ride?
it's an Air
Is
Ride
it just
game.
Air Ride?
Kirby Air Riders.
Oh! Ooh, Sonic Riders, watch out.
I don't like Air Ride. I've played it a couple of times. It's just
Air
not-
Rides, yeah, I haven't... Oh, Sakurai! Sakurai's directing it!
I will play this.
Well, you got your Smash Brothers and your
I'm
frickin'
going to play this if he's coming to do
Masahiro
it.
Sakurai.
That guy-
Nintendo does not often put the director of their games
I know.
on the trailer. There's a reason.
I will play this game.
hope you're looking
If he's
forward to Kirby
if he's
Air
coming
Riders,
to do this, there's a
directed by
reason why.
Masahiro
I'm gonna be like, okay, he's very good.
Next is our last trailer for today. Please take a look.
I don't want Air Riders to be the grand finale. I don't care if he's directing it or not.
That's looking a little bit like a Mario game.
Or Banjo-Kazooie with those eyes.
Oh, maybe Donkey Kong.
Is this Donkey Kong? You saw banana?
We have confirmation on bananas. Ingot Isle. Okay, those monkeys with tails.
Come on.
New Donkey Kong?
If it's
I think it is. Bam. There's our boy.
Is it new look?
Yep.
New look.
That's it. Open world Donkey Kong. It's looking like Donkey Kong Odyssey.
It really is.
Isn't it? So there you go. People will...
Oh, look at that mechanic.
Yeah, grab a... Yeah, we're seeing a lot of just terrain destruction.
Terrain definition.
It's Monkcraft. For Monkey.
This looks good. From just looking at this footage, you get the sense that he has a lot of strength which you don't see in the other games.
Yeah, true. Oh, love letter to Donkey Kong Country.
Carts, yeah. This looks really good.
It does. anyone that was looking for a Nintendo platformer with the Switch 2 Direct, they might not have been expecting a Donkey Kong game, but this looks very, very good.
Is Odyssey getting a Switch 2 like upgrade?
I don't remember.
I didn't see its name.
It might have. Yeah.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm surprised they've never used that name before. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
It's not too far away
was
either.
a brand new 3D platforming action game starring Donkey Kong, called Donkey Kong Bonanza. With incredible strength, smash through enemies, walls.
I'm loving seeing all like the particles flying.
And just about everything as you demolish your way through a massive underground world. More details will be shared in the future. We hope you're looking forward to it.
Thank you for watching so far.
To recap, Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th. Finally, here are the hardware options that will be available at launch.
Okay,
different
We'll
hardware.
release Nintendo Switch 2, as well as a bundle that includes a digital version of Mario Kart World.
So Mario Kart World's day and date.
For more details, please check the official Nintendo Switch 2 website, which goes live later today.
We've covered a lot of information, but that's all we have to share for today.
You'll have to wait just a bit longer for launch. We are very much looking forward to everyone being able to experience Nintendo Switch 2.
We appreciate you joining us today. Thank you very much.
Wait, so there's no date announcement?
You mean pre-order date?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Okay. That was a bit weird. I was expecting them to show off.
Oh, they're going right into the treehouse.
No, that's for the advertisement for the
okay.
going.
I'm wondering about that weird Nintendo Tour thing.
Yeah.
There's got to be some game there, right? That we're not seeing.
Yeah, that's strange.
If you have to pay to play this thing.
I know. Okay. So let's discuss what we just saw. All right. So, okay. So, oh wow. So there's a lot going on here. Okay. There's no launch date for the system. There's no June 5th.
Yeah,
Sorry, June 5th. There's no price.
Yeah, no price. Yeah.
Okay.
So the original Switch came in at $299 USD. I don't know. It could be like $399 or $499. I think is what people are speculating.
Okay. I mean, so all right. Let's talk hardware here.
Yeah.
Everything they showed off is amazing. It's better than the Switch. You got a higher resolution screen. You got a higher frame rate screen. You have an HDR screen. Those three things are going to matter. They did not say OLED.
No.
So I don't think it's going to be OLED.
No. I feel like they're going to save it for a couple of years in or so. With every new console generation now, there is going to be a beefed up version of it, I feel like, about maybe a couple years in.
This is probably going to be a little bit too inside baseball for some folks, and maybe you don't care, maybe you do, but an HDR screen is a really cool feature. Having it on your main television, if you have an OLED television, a mini LED or something like that, that's going to be the best way that works, because HDR is high dynamic range. That means that you get much more range in terms of lighting in your screen or colors. So,
darks are darker, brights are brighter.
If you don't have a screen that can go to true blacks, you don't really get the same effect of HDR. But that doesn't mean it's not going to look good. It's still going to look good. We have a couple monitors.
A lot of modern televisions have HDR integration, so
it's better. It's better to have it than not. So it's nice to see that's there. Having that be Mubar saying 1080, 120 hertz HDR LCD screen. Yeah, okay. So I think that the 120 hertz thing is going to matter a lot. Now, here's the interesting part, okay? Getting to 120 frames per second is hardware intensive. Portable games, making use of that, that's pretty interesting, because the Steam Deck has two models, the original models and the newer models. And the newer models are OLED screens. They, I think, have 90 hertz.
Okay.
So a 90 hertz screen is pretty harsh to hit that frame rate on a lot of the games on Steam Deck. It depends. You can like modify them around. So is Nintendo going to be focusing on 120 hertz 1080p native for like that new Mario Kart game? Is that where they're aiming with that? When people go to play here, this is really crazy. If your screen that you have at home, in the chat, everybody on the chat right now that's watching, is your TV, the main TV you use at home, is it a 60 hertz screen or is it a 120 hertz screen? And the reason I ask this is because are you going to benefit from playing that game portably and getting a higher frame rate? And will you tune down the frame rate to play it on your main TV? That's a big thing.
So when we were looking at this footage, maybe you guys saw this. I don't know if I did. Do they have performance modes? I could have sworn I saw like there was a quality mode.
You're thinking of the Metroid Prime 4 trailer. They called out specifically a mode that was 1080.
Yeah. Okay, so that was for the bump up?
4K 60. Well, it's for the Nintendo Switch 2 version, because the game's not out yet. There's no bump up, right? It's just you buy either the Switch 1 card or the Switch 2 card. There's no upgrade.
In the chat, I'm seeing a lot of 60 hertz. I'm seeing a couple of 120 hertz, and I see one person with 240 hertz. You blaze demon, you.
So it would be great if they did have that integration, the mode integration that we've seen on like the PlayStation, where you can have your performance mode or your high fidelity mode.
Yeah.
And then, if your television just goes to 60 hertz, then you can, just go with performance mode and enjoy a beautiful image. And
I think I'm
Nintendo's a little bit ahead of where I thought they would be with the 120 hertz announcement, really. Because typically we're used to Nintendo baby stepping their way into newer tech.
It's true. But the thing is, right, with the Xbox Series X, with the PlayStation 5, they're trying to hit high frame rates at higher resolutions. This is a portable system, so you might have some power imbalance there, but it's 180p, or sorry, 1080p, so HD full res.
Apparently, there might be new information on Nintendo Switch 2 website, so maybe you want to pull that up.
Okay.
Let's see. So we can take a look. So what's interesting about this to me really is, I think someone mentioned here, Asus, Asus. They released a portable handheld that has a 120 hertz screen. They did, and you can play a lot of games at that. But when I think about the simplicity of the average consumer playing those things, Steam Deck is very easy to use. Switch is very easy to use. Those kind of handhelds have like a simple system that are set up. A lot of other ones tend to get a little bit weird depending on how they work and how they perform and how you have to set things up. If Nintendo is naturally just pushing to 120 hertz on the portable games that they're releasing, that's a big deal. If any of the Zelda games, if Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, if those games hit 120, you just put it in the Switch 2 and it goes there. Once you've got the upgrade path, that's a big win for them.
To put this into perspective, games like Link's Awakening, the remake, and Echoes of Wisdom, they were having issues, I think, hitting 30 frames.
Yeah.
They're getting pretty choppy. So the possible jump up for titles to 120 frames is insane. And I'm hoping that those two games I just mentioned get this like boost pack or whatever that you can opt into. And then we'll have games that run a little smoother, because those are great titles that are just a little framey.
Right. Colin Joyce sent in a super chat. Are you getting a check for Mario Kart World? Okay, so let's just talk about this really quick, because I know many people just joined.
I don't know if you were just going from memory. You did call your game Mario Kart World.
So I called it Mario Kart World.
You literally called it Mario Kart World. So you had stunt mode, which I don't think they really showed specific. I don't know. Did they show?
Can we show people the actual
images?
Artwork we did and everything for that too? So just because everyone might not know this, we have a second channel. We haven't updated it in quite a while, but we created a bunch of episodes, and on it, it's called Next Game.
Yeah, it's a video game podcast where we pitch the next game in a series. It could be something that's lying dormant or just a series that we love. We released several episodes of that, but it's kind of dormant right now.
So I created a game for my pitch, which was called Mario Kart World, and it was an open world Mario Kart game that had a lot of the features they just showed off.
Like the seamless track to track integration was one of them.
That was one.
Yeah.
There was
weather effects.
Weather effects was one, and I said like it would affect your gameplay and stuff like that. I mean, look, I guess
we're not saying that they grabbed Shane's idea because, I think.
This is, folks, you might not know this.
It up just 1 second.
Yeah, you're going to see the next game set, and it's the same set we're sitting in, but we're in two completely different buildings, but we moved the set, so it's just, it's weird to see that. But, like, it's nuts to me that, I don't think they stole my idea. It's crazy.
I know they didn't steal your idea.
But it's so
This was probably in development for, I don't know, half a decade or so.
I wonder if, like, someone at Nintendo saw what we came up with and was just like, how did they know? Like, they're probably thinking we stole their idea, right? Like, it's just like...
Should we...
There's the weather effects right there.
I don't remember how long it would take to play your trailer. I shouldn't
No,
actually feel the trailer
don't do that, yeah. Rally racing point system.
That's not in the game.
Yeah. But by the way, Headlamp did all the artwork for this. Check them out. They're fantastic. Yeah. But yeah.
The seamless track integration thing was what got me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty much Shane had pitched that as like kind of a rally style.
Yeah.
Game,
that was the idea,
right?
was to make rally gameplay because I thought that would be really cool. Because I thought the idea of having an elongated track where you can do stuff. Look, the game looks amazing. I'm very excited to play that.
Yeah, and knowing that it's a launch day and date title is cool.
Yeah,
it's gonna. I mean, Mario Kart has become probably one of the most important games to Nintendo after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe continued to sell like hotcakes through the roof for almost the entirety of the 8 years of the Switch's lifespan. Like the Mario Kart 8 continued to be at the top of their best-selling titles.
Yeah.
So this is gonna, if people weren't already gonna be scooping up the Switch 2, this being there immediately is gonna make a lot of people excited.
I wonder if there's gonna be if like a bunch of people are gonna send our old video out of like me literally. How old is this video now? 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
So 2 years
ago.
So
they were developing their game way back.
Oh, yeah. So what I love about this is going to be like, there's going to be a bunch of people that watch this video and they'll be like, well, clearly Shane found some documents from Nintendo and stole their ideas. Like, because that makes more sense than them going the other direction and going, hey guys, you check out this dude's idea. Let's just steal all this. That didn't happen. I am shocked that the game that was in my brain that I came up with exists now. Well, that to the letter.
I think that speaks to the quality of your pitch.
Yeah, I guess so.
You made a good game.
Didn't I lose that episode?
You did lose that episode, if I remember correctly.
Well, I guess I won. I guess I won at the end. Oh boy. Oh man, that is just so nuts to see happen. Oh yeah, let's what's other stuff that we saw? Okay.
Okay, so I made very brief notes. So chronologically, it was Mario Kart World, which Shane invented.
Yeah.
And then
Shane's Mario Kart World.
Game Chat, Game Share, which works also with Game Chat, and then magnetic Joy-Con 2, mouse controls.
So the game,
256 gigs.
The game chat thing. Okay, so let's talk about the game chat thing for a sec. I loved the ability to talk to friends while playing other games, seeing what they're playing and stuff. This was something that we like doing on Discord a lot. To see that integrated into the Switch, I'm very, very excited for that.
And it's a no-brainer for Nintendo to have that integration beyond a single game because it's advertising your other games.
Yeah.
If you have other people, if you're talking to 3 other people and they're all playing the new Nintendo hotness, this game that you weren't really interested in, but you see a little bit of that gameplay and you know your friends are on board playing that as well, you're probably going to dip into that ecosystem also.
Rough prediction, because this is not an item that's going to be included with the Switch. I do not believe that webcam is going to be popular. I don't think anyone's really going to buy it. I don't think it's going to be something that people care about because like.
But the addition to Jamboree, there are games that use it.
Yeah, it looks like it will be
not only for
used.
just Avatar. There look like a few games that actually use it.
They seem like they alphaed or green screened out the rest of your room, which was cool.
I saw all that.
Yeah.
I truly believe it's not going to be that popular because it's not new. It's old. Nintendo's not doing anything unique with it. That's just Connect.
They should have bundled it in with the console. It's not bundled in.
It probably should have been should have been on the dock.
Yeah.
You know. But whatever. It's not a big deal. The thing is, I don't think people are going to care about that enough unless they introduce some amazing features or it becomes a mainstay. But I think just like with the IR sensor on the bottom controller for the original Switch, it was there. They didn't use it that often, and people stopped caring after a while. So I'm hoping that, or like I believe that webcam is just going to fall. But they also stated that like at the bottom it said compatible webcams. So if you can use other webcams, that would be great. But you know, I don't know how they're going to do this. I don't know what the interaction is going to be like.
As far as silly, weird Nintendo implementations into controllers and systems and stuff, I would say that it's relatively mild.
Yeah.
It's like, people know what it is. People can immediately know like what it can do for you in your games, unlike the IR sensor where folks are like, so how does that work? You're just eating sandwiches? You made an eating sandwich?
That was pretty much it. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I like. Okay, the game the game integration portion that they were showing off there, that was interesting. But at the same time, it's like I've been there already. I've done
with
that.
the PlayStation Eye. You've done
toy.
the weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We've done those things before, so that isn't really unique or new to me. And honestly, to be fair, every implementation of motion I've had in a game outside of Police 911 in arcades has been garbage for me. I never enjoyed it because it never felt like I was having a big fun. Kind of throw into it. And Police 911 wasn't even webcam. It was like IR lasers or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's an old game in the arcades, folks. You don't need to care about it right now. But yeah.
What I almost feel like is an extension of motion controls is the stuff that you can get to with mouse capabilities.
Yes.
So you have one-to-one movement that you should be able to recognize fairly well on the screen with whatever they decide to do with mice. We just saw a little bit of the integration into like that Mario Party add-on, but that gets me super excited, and it makes me wonder like what they're going to make software beyond the basketball style game that we saw that heavily leans onto that, because every Switch is going to have a mouse. And
that's right. See, that's the stuff I'm interested in seeing. Now, I want to be totally fair with this. I know it sounds weird. I have used two mice at the same time for various reasons on computers. I'm multidextrous. I have the ability to use two things at once like that. That is not something normal people can do. It's not.
Rephrase normal.
People that
everyone it's
everyone
not
can
just
do that.
A common thing everyone.
I have the ability to use a mouse on the left hand or the right hand.
Can you rub your tummy and pat your head at the same time?
Yeah, like I can do that, right? Not everybody can do that, I guess. It's like this thing, but I don't think that looked difficult.
Can I point something out that's a more objective concern I have?
Yeah.
Does everyone have a table in their where they play games where they can a smooth table that won't mess with the sensor?
Because
that they
it's
can
going to
easily
be
just play. And do they Mario Party? Do you have a big enough table where everyone can bring over their Joy-Con
remember,
and be playing with the...
they were showing the Switch being able to sit on a table and be used while being charged. So I think you're going to be able to move it anywhere and play it.
I get that, but do people want to do that? Do people just want to sit on their couch and play Mario Party?
Well, that's what I want to know. How does the sensor work? Could you use it on a rug? Which is like the weirdest thing to want to do, but kids are going to want to do it, right?
You should be able to use
it on like any material,
anything
basically.
with a texture,
right?
Yeah, where mice have issues are on weird textures that don't have enough detail to them, so that they can't see where they're moving, which is usually like ceramic white and stuff like that.
Yeah, situations you wouldn't really come up across.
Edge Bedlam just sent in a super chat, said, I hope the Switch 2 would make a new Sonic Riders.
You're getting Kirby Air Riders and you're going to love it.
Yeah. Better be happy about
Masahiro Sakurai's.
He's coming back for you.
He's feeding you.
Yeah.
So here's what I was thinking with the mouse and the other hand and half a brain doing this and half a brain doing that. I just went to the Wiimote and the nunchuck.
Yes.
You have to do, like, we did that on the Wii.
Okay, that is different. I know what you're saying. So that is you're aiming with one hand and then you're moving your thumb with the other. This is double aiming. In arcades, did you ever play Alien or Area 51 or any light gun game and you put in 2 coins?
Yeah, and use both. Yeah.
Did you
in Lucky and Wild, I used to be the gun guy. The other guy would drive.
You'll be okay. That's not a common thing for people anymore. They don't. That's not like that's a thing you have to learn to do. And
that's. I feel like that's yet to be seen. I feel like you're jumping to conclusions.
Day one, we'll get this in.
Yeah.
I actually, I don't remember if they said that game was a day one. I wrote it down, but we'll get me on there. I'm horrible. I have no coordination. We'll see if I can play the game.
Yeah, because like I know I can do it, but it's just like I've seen people struggle with those kind of features. Yeah,
it's not day and date with the console. It's summer 2025.
Yeah,
that game.
I know people that have that struggle. Okay, actually, I'll ask this in the chat because everybody's here. So, how many people dislike playing PC games because you don't like doing the WASD keys and the mouse at the same time? If you don't like that, that can be a situation where you don't like double dexterity. That is actually that is literally how that works. I know there's a lot of people like that. When the controller is closer, their body makes more sense of it. It's weird things with controls.
Yeah. Even just like to a person that doesn't play video games as a whole, just handing them a controller if they've never played a video game before, their brain kind of breaks. Like what how does this, you know? Just thinking about like giving a pro controller to my grandma or something. Yeah. She's not going to know what the heck's going on.
I am not saying it's going to be a bad thing. I'm excited. I can do that. I want to do that. How many games are going to make use of that?
Yes, exactly.
That's the thing,
exactly.
Right?
We want to see who adopts that. What I would love to see is just options with that controller scheme. Like you can use the double controlled mouse if you want, or you can switch to a more classic style of controller if there's some issues. Just like accessibility across the board is always a great thing.
There's a bunch of people talking here, but see, Diana Martinez said, I play on my laptop and I always use a controller because I'm not used to mouse and keyboard. See, that like it does affect people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of folks having a bunch of different stuff
control styles can affect people in different ways across the board. I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah. I'm more interested in the tilt function.
Yeah.
Right?
To see how that's integrated in.
Yeah. So typically mice on your computer right now, your mouse doesn't have the ability to tilt. I mean, like it can't register you.
Most modern mice don't have a gyroscope sitting in it.
Yeah, right. This was a feature. I couldn't talk about it on during the stream. There was a company that made gyroscopic mice, and they released it for Windows XP, I think was when it originally came out. And the cool thing was it was a mouse. It looked like a phaser from Star Trek, and you could move it around and you could like click and stuff. But the cool thing was you could pick it up and it was like a phaser, and you could move around and do stuff. That's normal now, but back then that was really advanced. And that did have the ability to tilt, but the thing was you didn't do anything with it. It could do it, but it had the sensors for it. But they didn't.
You need the software. Yeah. And Nintendo does tend to take their weird gadgets that they put into their controllers and make use of them. But we do see often a pattern of like at the very beginning, there's quite a bit of integration. And then as things continue, it sort of tapers off. We saw that with the IR sensor. We saw that with the 3D and the 3DS, for example. A cool sort of gimmick, and then things taper off. I hope that doesn't happen.
So, because my pitch for Super Mario Kart World apparently got used, I'm going to pitch you guys a couple of ideas for how this little turning thing on the mouse works, because I don't know if developers are thinking about it, but I've been thinking about this for years. I've always wanted this, so I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to be integrated in games. So get some paper, write this down, start like filling out some reports on this stuff. Okay, when you go to play a game that has a sniper rifle in it, typically what you do is you have a mouse wheel, and there is no mouse wheel on the Switch, okay? They didn't show one. So on that wheel, you'd be able to like slide it up, and then you can zoom in and zoom out on your your aim for like let's say a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
So imagine that where you're just taking your hand and just turning it left or right. That would adjust the dial so you can zoom in or zoom out. That would be focus and aperture on Pokemon Snap. That could be any kind of like a mechanic in a weapon where you're adjusting your ammunition or stuff on the fly. It gives you that subtle input. And let's say you're playing a game where you need more focused controls. So in a lot of first-person shooters, when you go into sniper mode, you want to like set the sensitivity of the mouse all the way down so that you have like a very hairpin kind of feel. Well, you'd be able to just turn your hand and then slow it down or then adjust it to go up. That's a really cool feature to utilize that stuff.
I want to know how delicate that gyroscope is, because people are going to be using these mice and they're not going to be like, yes, absolutely horizontally one way, like they're going to be moving their arms around at angles and stuff. So yeah, I'd have to imagine that whatever gyroscope sensitivity is in there, it can sort of track, how much are you twisting your hand and whatnot. We got something kind of sort of like that with Wii Motion Plus, with the old Wiimotes and moving your stuff around. But yeah, this is a very different beast.
It is.
And it's an exciting one. I can't believe we're getting mouse integration into the Switch 2. And no Mario Paint.
No Mario Paint.
No Mario Paint. Not announced yet.
Oh my God.
That just flashed into my brain.
It's got to be a day one release on Switch Online, right? Like it just has to be.
Like if they're not making a new Mario Paint, they at least have to bring back Mario Paint.
Look,
classic Mario.
What if they actually give us the Mario Artist on Nintendo 64 DD?
The DD one?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That would be cool, but I don't think they're going to do that. No.
Okay, so that's one way you use that. Another way is if you think about games like Elder Scrolls, any of those games where you have lock-picking mechanics, or Thief where you're like adjusting a dial on something, that gives you that precision so that you can do that. But you can also just pick up the thing and you can also do that as well too. So you have those kind of features where you can do that.
Yep. We saw like a tiny tidbit of them taking shapes and matching them in different spots and stuff. So yeah, kind of similar to that.
You're playing a first-person shooter and you want to tilt your character around a corner. You just tilt the remote or tilt the thing so you can do
Metal
that.
Gear's coming to the Switch 2?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that would be a way to do it.
Just leaning around the corner.
Just leaning around the corner, right? I mean, I don't. They didn't make any announcements to it at all, but they'd have to integrate that. I don't know if I trust Konami to do that properly, but we'll see. I guess other ways that you would utilize that, like it sounds like a gimmick, but it can be done very well in a specific way. Think about it in terms of any kind of game that has 3D input. This is a very hard concept. There used to be a visual operating system overlay for Windows called Bump Top. You can search this up. It does not exist anymore. Bump Top was in 3D, and the idea was why is Windows just a 2D operating system? So with Bump Top specifically, you could take icons and move them in the X dimension, Z dimension. So you can actually take an icon and move it backwards, and you could stack icons into like boxes in 3D space. And it was very difficult to do because you'd have to hold down Shift and move your mouse up and down. But with this, you'd be able to move back and forth and like adjust things and move a box sideways. Actually, a stacking game where you're trying to adjust it properly, you can like kind of like tilt it and move it in there and stuff. It would be really cool.
Yeah, they had titles like that on the Wii as well. What I would like to see with that gyroscopic twist integration is I'm thinking something like a Civ style game or an RTS style game where you kind of flick your wrist a little bit and then a menu pops up over your cursor.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like a seamless one-handed thing, and then
zoom in and zoom out on your map.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. It seems like such a simple thing, but in the grand scheme of gaming, there's a lot of use cases.
MOBAs would be cool, like League of Legends or something of that sort. Yeah, anything like that. Anything where it could be benefit of the user. Now, the problem is adjusting for sensitivity here. How do you know when they want to turn and when they don't want to turn?
That's what I was saying.
Right?
Like people are going to be moving their mice around in weird ways. Like they really have to.
If you hold your mouse like this, you might naturally just go in that direction sometimes. Some people do that. I don't always hold my mouse completely straight. So that's something like, can I turn it off?
Yes.
Is there a setting?
Is there a sensitivity setting? Yeah.
Interesting thing that they showed off, and that is that like the snap-on mechanics are magnetic and that it connects through the buttons.
Yeah, the buttons are metal.
Metal buttons.
Yes.
How often do you see metal buttons on anything?
Well, we see them in more premium controllers nowadays, but I'm totally for it. Like the rail system for the original Switch always felt a little like
it was strong. It's resilient over the years.
Yeah,
it has done its thing.
Yeah, but
it does get weak.
It doesn't seem like the elegant Nintendo style of making their hardware.
Yeah.
Like having to do that, and oftentimes, especially in the beginning when the Switch first came out, people were having problems with the rails that you'd put onto the different Joy-Con and mixing up the rails and stuff. With this, it's just simple, just snaps right in.
Price announced at $450.
$450 is a rumored price.
Okay, we'll find out.
Do we have a pre-order date?
No, they didn't mention.
No, they didn't mention it there. But I was wondering if they've released any sort of extra news stuff following the presentation.
I'm looking at my my email, and Nintendo hasn't sent me a press release or anything about this stream at all. So
just a cease and desist about Mario Kart. What the heck?
Yeah, maybe they're not going to talk to me anymore because it's like I've got legal precedent. Actually, legally, I think I have. They have Mario, right? I'm not going to sue Nintendo.
They can show the documents that they started it in 2015 or whatever.
Yeah, they probably had.
Well, not 15. That's way too long ago.
They probably designed this in 2010.
Well,
ever since the Wii U.
After the Switch.
Yeah,
maybe. So. Yeah.
Oh, and thank you to Bradley Black for becoming a Patreon. Thank you so much. Just cut your message there.
Did we get a super chat?
Oh yes, we did. Yeah. Thank you, Isaiah, for sending your super chat. Do you think we're going to have a couple of point and click games or RTS games on Switch too?
Yeah.
I would be shocked if we don't see. And I know this is weird, but I would be shocked if we didn't see EA's Command and Conquer collection.
Oh man, that would
Blizzard
be so
with Warcraft. You know, geez, it would be amazing to see an RTS. Like, okay, if. This is so cool. Video games on consoles have been limited when it comes to RTS because of the way that you interact with a mouse on those kind of screens. Now, we did have a couple of games come out on consoles. There's a unique version of StarCraft 64 that came out.
I have it, yeah.
There is a Command and Conquer on
N64
has a 3D engine where it doesn't have that on anything else.
Yep.
So yeah, those features are really neat.
The controls for some of those titles, they're fine.
Yeah.
They did the best that they could, but actually having mouse integration for those, you don't know how huge that is, people.
There's actually a PlayStation 1 version of Dune 2000 that uses a 3D engine, and the original game on PC doesn't.
Oh yeah,
so there's weird stuff like that.
Cool.
But
there was a Playstation mouse, and your mileage may vary, but we're
old ball mouse. Ball mouse.
But again, we gotta really focus on the fact that every one of these systems is going to come with two mice.
Yes.
You don't have to buy an extra peripheral. Anytime you have to make that jump to an extra peripheral, you're gonna have less of an audience coming in and playing that game with that peripheral.
Yeah.
Right.
It's gonna be a thing.
So yeah, I think games like Pikmin would really benefit from like the use of a mouse. It would be cool to see something more like an Advance Wars game. I know it's a strategy title that is like whatever. You don't traditionally need a mouse for it, but maybe something that's more real time.
Yeah. So I think honestly, what I think about this is a whole bunch of developers that are sitting on these ancient RTS games they haven't been able to re-release for years. Point and click adventure games, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep. A new Zack and Wiki.
Yeah, right. They can now bring those things over to the Switch too with very little issues. So that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, confirmed. Nintendo Switch 2 launches June 5th at $450 US with this is Business Wire. So this is actually straight from Nintendo. It is going to be $500 with the Mario Kart World Bundle. Switch 2 comes with the following. So you get the Switch 2 console, 2 Joy-Con controllers left and right, the Joy-Con 2 grip, Joy-Con 2 straps, the Nintendo Switch 2 dock, ultra high-speed HDMI cable. You need that for 4K output. Nintendo Switch 2 AC adapter and a USB-C charging cable. So you are getting those things.
And so no camera. The camera is an additional. Yeah.
That is definitely not going to be included. And I saw on the chat that this was mentioned. The games are going to be $80 now.
Okay.
And yes, the internal storage in the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have 256 gigabytes of storage, and they didn't state how fast the storage is, but I mean, it's probably good. Because they wouldn't use it if it wasn't going to work out well for them.
We know that the game carts themselves allow for the faster data transfer, I guess.
Yeah, that seemed to be the thing that they really wanted that. Because we're with what's going on right now with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 and a lot of PC game or console or builds that are happening now, they're using a lot of M2 SSDs, incredibly fast speeds. We're now on Gen 5 with that, which can load games incredibly quick. To the point where you don't even see load screens sometimes.
Right. That was the selling point for the PlayStation 5 at the time,
So I think that Switch is going to be much in that same line. So you're probably going to see something to that same degree. And to be honest, Nintendo has been on that kind of memory since the Wii, where a lot of other systems weren't. When the Wii came out, they were using flash memory, which was pretty quick for the time. And then I think it was Sony and Microsoft were still on HDDs because they wanted more space rather than speed. Right. So, yeah. We got a super chat.
Do we know, and this is like only maybe beneficial for a certain section of people, do we know the box art for these, like what the physical box art?
No, I imagine it's going to be red.
If the box, do you think it's going to be the same? Like, is it? Well, I already have a wall of red at home. For Nintendo Switch.
I think the plastic is going to be different. They have to differentiate
different sizes, different. I'm interested to see what that looks like.
The Smell of Your Jeans sent in a super chat. Where is my 19th release of Skyrim? No Skyrim.
No Skyrim.
2,
you got
purchase.
Elden Ring, and you'll love it.
You're going to get Skyrim.
Yeah,
it's gonna
Skyrim. There'll be a super ultra deluxe version of Skyrim.
Well, actually, there's Skyrim on Switch already, so maybe
I think that was a launch window title. I think that's the joke they were making, though. Skyrim was already old when they
they'll just do an upgraded version of that.
Probably and there's Oblivion is supposed to be getting a remake, right?
You know, Nintendo was showing off that they're charging for the upgrades for the games. Do you think other developers might just do it for free?
I could see that. Maybe it depends on if Nintendo's saying, "Hey, no, you charge for the upgrades." Like if there's some sort of
it's like a
mandated thing. Nintendo has done mandated things in the past.
Yeah, I mean, here's the problem with I don't.
They also kind of got in trouble with that a couple times.
Yep.
I don't know if there is a. I don't know if there is a notification of this or however it works. But they've mentioned, or not they've mentioned, but when you go for a loss leader model, and because of the price, I don't know if they're going loss leader.
If it was $399, I would say loss leader price, but $450, maybe not.
For those of you that don't know, loss leader models, when you sell a console at a reduced price, but you make it up at the
software
with the software sales. Yeah. So that is the model that Sony used famously with the original PlayStation that killed all their competition. It was pretty harsh for everybody to compete against that because Sony manufactured their own system, so they and they had all the hardware inside of it, so they were capable of doing that. When it comes to the Switch 2, if they do loss leader, logistically, it doesn't make sense to give away a bunch of former Switch games as Switch 2 titles because they make no profit from that, and they would lose a lot of money from that when they need to make that money back. So how it works is, imagine if somebody bought a Switch 2 and had a free upgrade to the Zelda games. Suddenly, if that's all the game they play, Nintendo loses money on every person that buys a Switch 2. So it is in their best interest to charge for those things. I don't agree with that, and I don't know if they're using a loss leader model. But,
traditionally, Nintendo does not use a loss leader model. What they did do for a very long time was they would have hardware that was a few steps behind their competitors, right? So where way back in the day when we were getting colored handhelds and your Atari Lynxes, for example, or Game Gears, Nintendo was releasing the Game Boy, and it was older hardware, but it was well-known hardware. They knew what they could do with it, and the components were cheap, so they could sell it without having to lose money on the system.
So milk was a bad choice. Mario Kart World Digital $80, physical supposedly $90.
Ooh,
boy.
is physical going to be more expensive than digital? Is this
The more powerful those cards are, the cartridges, the more expensive they're going to become. So yeah,
typically digital and physical have been at par, and I think that's because retailers have conversations with these companies to ensure that they're at par. The world is becoming a very digital video game landscape, to my chagrin.
I would like to confirm these things, but I didn't get a press release, so I can't like that. That's why you send out press releases to everybody.
So we don't know. We don't know for sure yet. We can't confirm that. But as someone that collects physical games, I don't love that a physical price point costs more.
I am just shocked that we're getting a new Kirby Air Riders. I mean, of all the things to release, was that a GameCube launch?
GameCube launch title?
Launch window.
Launch window? Possibly.
That's something I just like that game didn't do well. GameCube did not sell well. Why would you bring that back? And there's got to be a reason.
It's the weird Nintendo-ness, man.
Yeah.
So I just realized, we don't have a launch lineup, do we? I mean, maybe if you parse the information in the direct, you could figure out. But like,
Cyberpunk 2077 was announced on the Switch too. It just didn't show up on the stream.
Oh, the stream was broken broken at the time, and that probably would have been shown off.
Same day, launch title.
That's a pretty impressive get for the Switch 2
Ultimate Edition. They're not saying 4K. Good luck.
Yeah. Again, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate being on the system is really impressive to me. The fact that it isn't just a cloud-based title.
Yeah. It's
showing that this hardware does have a bit of muscle to it.
Yeah,
I was
really
not expecting that.
I am really interested in this Yakuza 0 director's cut though, because what did they add to it?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because I've never played a director's cut of that game. I only ever played the original.
Oh, if they added more games to the arcade alone, I'd be in.
There's a multiplayer mode for Yakuza 0. An online multiplayer mode.
Oh. If it's co-op, that would be so cool, but I don't think it's going to be co-op.
Okay. So, I know not everybody cares about this, but Nintendo just sent me their press release.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Megan. Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition. Explore intricate environments as you use disguises and stealth to execute missions. Yes. It includes the main campaign of Hitman 3, contracts mode, escalations, and more. Okay. This is important. If this is a physical release of Hitman World of Assassination Signature Edition, that means you're getting Hitman 1, 2, and 3 all bundled together in one game. This might be the ultimate version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited because if this includes mouse control, this would be the best console version of the game that ever came out. That's cool.
Am I being a pessimist and thinking that just because the Joy-Con has that mouse ability, it doesn't mean that you can turn it on with any game you want?
You're absolutely right. There's a chance not every game uses mouse control, but hear me out on here. If a game developer made the game for the PC, it should be very easy to translate that over.
Doesn't mean they do it.
It's true. Doesn't mean they do it.
We don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
But that's a great way of making of selling more titles on different platforms. If someone has played Hitman on like a PlayStation device and they do want to try it in a different way, if mouse integration's there, that's pretty compelling.
Okay. I am reading that some of the games on this system on launch are limited productions. They're only going to be available during the opening window, and you buy them, and that's it, and they're never printing them again.
Digitally and physically? Are we talking like a Mario All-Stars situation?
I'm trying to find out.
My guess is physical, just because they don't want to spend the money to make all the carts. If it's both, that's crazy.
I don't know which games. It's on the bottom here, and
that's so bizarre to me.
I'm not reading the press release that was just sent into me. I'm reading
if
something
we're
else.
Combining the news of physical possibly being $10 more expensive than digital with that, we'll call it a limited run, and nothing else comes to mind. That's pretty direct messaging from Nintendo that they want to go into a more digital landscape for their consoles. I don't like that, but I love video games. I gotta stick around.
Oh, my bad. It was for the Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World Bundle. That's a limited.
That's limited. Okay.
Yeah.
Erase what I just said.
Which, by the way, if I'm going to get one, that's the one I'm going to get. Because I do prefer physical copies of games on the Switch, but honestly, if I'm going to be saving like $50,
yeah, it's a good deal.
Just go with that.
So I don't know if this is. I don't know if this is the only way to get a Switch day one, but because I saw that people are saying, yeah, the prices are.
I just got the Canadian price.
Oh.
Yeah.
$630 Canadian.
That's weird.
Ooh.
But
That's weird.
okay, so but to look for the price myself, I went to Nintendo Canada's website and I clicked on the banner for Switch 2. So you register that you want to buy it, and they will send you next month an invitation to purchase it. And then when you get that invitation, you get to like order your console.
Okay.
And it is
weird.
And invitations by when you register, and then they send out the invitations. You'll have 72 hours to complete your purchase, and priority is based on basically if you pay for Switch Online. If you have Switch Online, if you in the past 12 months had Switch Online, have any paid Switch Online membership for a minimum of 12 months, and opted in to share gameplay data and have at least 50 hours total gameplay hours. Those are the priority requirements.
Jeez.
That can be
I don't know
expensive.
if that's the only way to pre-order a Switch
Wow.
or just the way to do it through Nintendo, but it seems very specific and restrictive, which makes me feel like it's the only way. Because how could they compete with Best Buy if they're doing this?
Yeah.
Like, this is seeming weird.
We've never seen a.
Well, I trust you.
We've never seen a games company only themselves take the pre-orders before.
I have.
For
Stadia. I mean, like it happens. It's just
yes,
not...
Nintendo saw their model and we're like, that's what we want to be.
That's the ticket. Hey, everyone will like this. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Registering. Should we register? I mean, if we register and get an invitation and we think it's
Oh yeah, I'm registering. My gosh, yeah, that's happening.
This is weird, though.
Here's what I like though. There's a lot of positivity here. There's a lot, like the hardware looks fantastic, the games look really good, and then the big thing is, it looks like on launch day there's a large library of games, and we're not just talking Switch 2 or Switch original games. There's a lot of stuff that seems to be targeting the system that is Switch 2, like made for Switch 2. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Every time a console launches and there's not enough, including GameCube, yeah. Every time there's a console that launches and you don't get enough stuff coming through,
right.
I always feel like you don't get just enough to play on it, and it feels like you're just waiting for the next thing to come out. But they showed off quite a few things here that are really exciting.
They showed off new software that was really cool. They showed off that you could play your older software in higher fidelity on this new machine. That's really awesome. We saw, and not just the first-party materials, we also saw a lot of third-party stuff that's really exciting, like your Elden Rings, like your Final Fantasy remakes, your Bravely Defaults. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff, at least within the launch window. We don't know what is launching on the first day with... Yeah, in its entirety.
And yeah, everyone in the chat's basically saying this is a good way to stop scalpers. 100%.
Yes, that's exactly what this is that they said they're doing what they can to not only have enough product for everyone, but to mitigate scalping. And scalping was such a huge issue with the Xbox and PlayStation, the latest.
You remember the Wii
consoles?
The Wii.
The Wii was ridiculous. I couldn't get a Wii for like years.
I remember there was somebody that was near where I lived, and they bought, I think it was something ridiculous. They went to a store and they bought every single Wii that they had in the store, and they were selling it online. And I remember no one was buying them because he was charging double the amount for the Wiis. And then the very next day, there was a massive, it wasn't launch day, it was like, because they were sold out for a very long time. And it was like Nintendo made a big announcement that they were doubling the production, and they sent like 3 or 4 times the amount they needed to at the store. And this dumbass was sitting on all these Wiis, and he didn't know what to do, so he had to sell them at a loss. And I bought one of them from him at that point.
Oh, good.
I didn't like that guy. Still don't like him.
Reap what you sow.
You hear me, Danny? Where are you now? Can't do this to the Switch 2.
Say, Shane.
That wasn't his name. I'm just making the name up.
Did you want to talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza?
Yeah,
Okay. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
For me, that was one of the games of the show.
That was it.
That was
Mario Kart World was my game of the show, but also that was my game of the show. It was 2 years ago.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Just imagining the different the different play methods, the different ideas that could come out of the terrain morphing and destruction. That alone is really exciting. For Nintendo platformers, I'm always looking for a new cool like gimmick, but not a gimmick in that, it's flashy and it goes away, but something that is woven throughout the entirety of a game, like Mario Odyssey and Cappy's Move, that just gives it an original flavor, something that shows new ideas, and it looks like we're going to be getting a lot of new ideas from this.
It looked like the terrain deformation and all that stuff. That looked like, when I was watching it, the first thing I thought of was, wow, he looks like he's got a lot of power behind him. And that's something you typically don't see. You don't feel the sense of like the strength of the character. And he looks more powerful in that game than any game I've ever seen him in before.
I love that you mentioned that, because I wasn't even thinking about that. But Donkey Kong, he's supposed to be kind of a big,
very strong,
sort of brooding dude, and this is the first time that we've seen him really ripping things apart. The fact that you can grab the ground and huck it at people. Fantastic!
Yeah.
That element alone is really cool. I imagine that there's going to be other things within worlds that you can grab and do different things with.
I'm
exciting.
I'm honestly excited about that.
Yeah.
The Pro controller they showed off looked neat.
It didn't seem like a huge jump.
No.
Yeah, like
Was the microphone built into the Pro controller? I forget, or was it the audio?
I think
it was a headphone jack. I don't know if it said microphone.
Yeah.
Period. But
like the Switch Pro controller, as is the Switch 1 Pro controller, we'll call it, is one of my favorite controllers. So this looking the same feels good to me.
An interesting part about this stream that I found like kind of like interesting to me at least is that we didn't get any confirmation on any kind of stick technology that they're using outside of it being a little bit bigger.
I know.
I just want them to say Hall Effect or TM. I know people won't know what that means, but for us, it's just that little bit of don't worry, guys.
Yeah, or even just to say a new stick.
Yeah.
A new style stick. They had the perfect time to do that, too. When they're showing off that freaking Nintendo Tour software, whatever the heck that is, they're like, oh, let's go to the kiosk about the screen. Like, no. Where's the one about the joysticks?
Well, what blows my mind is like, okay, you've got magnets throughout this thing now. Just put in a Hall Effect stick.
It uses magnets.
Now, here's the problem.
Yeah? Too many magnets?
Actually, yes. If you have a Hall Effect stick, there is a chance if those powered magnets they have in there to snap the thing on, they can actually detract from the Hall Effect, and it'll pull to the right or pull to the left or something. Because all Hall Effect is basically two magnets that align themselves so they can figure out where they are. If you have a strong enough pull from anything else on the system, it can like offset the sensor, and then it doesn't work properly. There's a chance that they're like, we can't use this tech because we've got these like magnet things here. So,
it would be fine if they can't use that tech. Nintendo is a company with a lot of brilliant minds.
Yes.
There's a better way to make joysticks out there. Just do not have the same tech that you put into the original Switch. You have larger Joy-Con. No, they're not thicker, but you have more space to play with now. We should not be having Joy-Con drift this upcoming generation.
Yes. Magnet, like the PlayStation 1 game you reviewed before, Magnet was Dreamcast, wasn't it?
Magnetic Neo?
Magnetic Neo.
Yeah, that's Dreamcast.
Yes, that's Dreamcast.
Or Fix?
Fix the Adventure.
Yeah,
was the one with
Fix the
Joy-Con. Yeah, Fix the
That tour game being like that seems like it should be a pack-in.
But
I don't know how much.
Weird.
Hopefully, it's not full price.
Well, what the heck was that though?
Is that getting a physical release? Are people going to go? It's all digital only? Okay, I was going to say, are people going to go to the store and see like the most bland case ever and be like...
It didn't look like a game.
I know.
They didn't show any gameplay. They just showed walking around and looking at things.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say there are games or mini games or there is game there.
Yeah.
They didn't show us, which is a mistake.
Yeah. You know what the problem is? I just realized that I have a lot of games and if of Switch games, and if these games get digital upgrades, they didn't mention a price for the digital upgrades. So I'm hoping it's cheap. I don't like, I mean, the thing is, if I have, let's say I have 20 games and each game for an upgrade is $10.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of moolah.
That's $200, right?
It's a lot of
Did I do the math
smackaroos.
right properly?
You at that point, you probably wouldn't be upgrading every game. You'd probably select the ones you like the best.
Right. And I just don't like that. That's because look, Sony doesn't do that. Well, Sony weirdly, they've got weird ways, but Microsoft doesn't do that. The Series X right across, whatever game you have, it just keeps on working.
Yeah.
So you did run into that with PS4 and 5 because you bought Ghost of Tsushima on PS4.
Yeah.
And now, like on PS5, you still haven't paid for the upgrade.
No, I haven't.
And then Miles Morales, that Spider-Man game, same issue.
Yep.
You don't have the I don't think you paid for the upgrade.
No, I have the upgrade. The problem was that Sony screwed up when I bought it, so I had to contact them and they had to fix it. And they were so stingy about it. They're like, you have to go out and buy it. I did go out and buy it. Your stupid system doesn't accept that I bought it. And I remember talking back and forth with them about that. And it took about a couple of hours. That was one of the most unfun experiences I've ever had talking with any company about their stuff. Like,
what I want to know now from Nintendo, because we know we can pay a little more and get these heightened versions of these games. Their system is still more powerful, and if you put an Echoes of Wisdom cart into this thing, are they gonna what are they gonna do with the frame rate for that game?
Yeah.
Like, do they have a way of emulating these titles to such an extent that they will purposely, keep the performance of those games sort of bottlenecked? I hope there's, at least, hey, no, now this is going to be a solid 30 frames per second, or hey, we have the ability now, we can make this at a higher fidelity. We can give you 60 frames per second. That would be cool. That kind of stuff alone would have been an exciting announcement. Maybe we'll hear more about that in the future.
I am just.
What you doing?
I'm curious because about our
next game
thing. Yeah.
It's been taken down. Men in suits are at the front door. I think one has a gun.
I just got an email about the video, so I was just curious what it was. A company reached out going, would you like to do a brand deal with us? So we really like your show Next Game. It's like, we haven't released an episode of Next Game in like a while. And is it just because this is hilarious. I just got an email now and I guarantee you it's just because they searched up Mario Kart World and our video popped up because that we own that SEO from 2 years ago, right? So that's how that works. That's hilarious. Folks, if you haven't watched that video, watch it. Maybe there's something else I say in the video that Nintendo's going to use as well.
Let us know how on the crystal ball Shane was on that one. That's crazy, man. That's awesome. I love that.
Shocked. That's great, though. I love that. I'm so happy about that. I guess some people would be pissed off, but it's like, no, I wanted to play that game. That's why I pitched it, right? So yeah, cool.
So yeah, there's a lot to be excited about with the Switch 2, and a lot more. We saw a lot more as far as upgrades to the way that the system is going to play games. A lot more of that than I figured we'd see. Usually Nintendo, I don't know, I don't think of them as the ones that are like, hey, it's going to run at all the frames and it's going to look the greatest. I leave that for like the other console players. But Nintendo seems to be up in their game a little bit here.
They really are.
They're like,
it
120 hertz.
Yeah.
They had that so close to the Direct. They knew what they were playing with there. Yep. Like that's big news, man.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I'm for me, I was wondering why they called this Switch 2, because I was like, they usually go for weird names, stuff like that. No, this legitimately is an upgrade of Switch. This is a Super Switch. This is Switch 64. And this is like the next variation.
Yeah,
right?
You're absolutely correct, and it's also the way that you mitigate the Wii U kerfuffle.
Yeah.
Right? No. Just like your PlayStations, Xbox is weird, but just like your PlayStations, this is the next console. There's no more like, oh, is this an upgrade for the Wii? What is this? Yeah. People will buy this.
Now, Everyone was wondering, why didn't Nintendo lower the prices on the Nintendo Switch games over the past 7 years? Well, now you know why. Because they were going to work on the Switch 2, and so they've retained the value of all the games. That means that your entire library of Switch games have retained their value. That's nuts. That's a big deal.
Also, when Mario Kart is still selling in the millions year over year, you don't lower the price of Mario Kart.
Yeah, you just apparently give away the sequel in the next one.
Right. That's it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the biggest thing here, of everything they showed off, 4K is important. Higher resolution games are nice. 120 frame per second games, that's a huge deal because a lot of people say they can't tell the difference. Folks, you're going to be able to tell the difference of 120 frames per second. Make no mistake, you will.
Especially if you're jumping from the base Switch.
Yeah.
Which is the frame rate's all over the place,
Yeah.
right? And heading on over to 120 hertz, that will affect the way you play games.
Yeah, your games are going to feel more responsive. They're going to feel sharper and faster in a weird way. A lot of people that just never pay attention to this stuff because they don't really think about it too much, but there are games you are going to play that you are naturally going to be better at because you're playing at a higher refresh rate. This is how this works. My phone has 120 hertz. It's just an iPhone 13. iPhone 13 has the Pro model, whatever, has 120 hertz. When I go to use a phone that doesn't have 120 hertz, I immediately feel like the phone is slower. At 120 hertz, games feel like they load faster, they play faster. They don't load faster, but it feels that way because the images on the screen are being projected at you in a faster way. It's a weird little thing, but your system just feels faster when you can see more information coming at you. With 120 hertz, I'm trying to think of some additional things that they can do. I think they can use the old 3D technology of glasses because at 120 hertz you can do interlace 60, and you can do that. But I don't think they're going to do that. Yeah, maybe if you have some old 3DS games, you want to have the 3D thing. Again,
That would be
neat.
okay. Then we'll have the Virtual Boy pop up on their online storefront.
Yeah, that'd be
additional
crazy.
$10 a month just for the 12 games or so.
I think I just in general I think those are the things. Like I know it sounds silly, but any of the old games they can get on Switch to run at 120 hertz, everything across the board is going to feel better.
You're being really optimistic that you think the old games are. They always said compatible. They did not say everything on Switch 2 runs at 120.
No, with upgrades. When you pay for those upgrades.
Did they say Tears of the Kingdom had 120? I think
it said frame rate increase. Right? So it's gonna, but it could just be 60.
To side with Robin on this one, I don't think we had confirmation of 120 frames for anything, did we? Oh, we did for Metroid Prime?
Prime 4 in one of the
that's
modes.
an exciting one,
1080, 120 frames per second.
Okay, so we did get
Metroid Prime Remastered, the first one.
Yeah.
That could be 120.
It's likely running very similar infrastructure for its software.
I'm curious to see what they do. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but I like more frames. By the way, 120, that's all I need. I know that some people have higher refresh monitors than that and everything, but there comes a point of diminishing returns the higher you go. And for me, I can identify 60. I can identify, I currently run 144, and that's where I'm at with my screens. But I think just getting beyond 60 is such a huge benefit to us.
Even if they said locked 60, that would have been exciting news.
Yeah.
This is going beyond what I thought they would have accomplished today.
Okay. This is going to be a little bit difficult to explain. I don't know if the Switch 2 screen is going to do this. There's a way, if you're playing a Super Nintendo game, and the game runs at 60 frames per second, at 120 hertz, and somebody in the chat's going to know this better than me, there's a way it's called black frame interpolation. So every second frame is a black frame. And when you do that, it makes the screen kind of flicker a bit to make it look like a CRT. So it will actually look like a real CRT screen, and there will be no ghosting or anything like that. So it creates this very pronounced image. that has a very, very specific. There's a reason people do that. I forget all of it because I don't really do it, but I have used it to play some older games, and it legitimately makes your brand new screen look like a CRT. If Nintendo implements that with Nintendo Online games, that'd be great. They're not gonna.
It's an additional $10 a month.
Yeah, right. But like having an 1080p screen. You've got the black frame interpolation, and you've got a CRT filter on your old SNES games. It could look exactly like you have a little portable CRT.
Let us change the control configuration and let us get rid of those borders, and I'd be pretty happy.
Black frame insertion, yeah, everyone's talking about it in there. Squire Tumbolt sent in a super chat. Thoughts on GameCube and Switch 2 camera?
Game chat.
Game chat.
Yeah,
sorry.
we already spoke a little bit about game chat and the camera. We saw some cool use cases for the camera with the Mario Party Jamboree tease there, and yes, it's cool. Game chat, I feel like, is going to be the more. Right now, they're showing game chat as the more compelling use case for this thing. I don't know how often we ourselves will be integrated into video games, but being able to see what other people are playing while you're playing a different game and being able to keep in touch that way, it's excellent. Nintendo has had a problem with chat for a long time, for a very, very long time. So this feels like steps forward to bringing people together seamlessly. Yeah, it's nothing but a win.
Yeah. Honestly, it's one of those things where I feel like, aside from I don't think the camera is going to be that popular, I love everything about the chat system. Even the lower frame rate when your friends are playing, I don't care about that. I'm not like mindfully watching them while I'm playing a game myself, you know? But it goes to show the abilities and the power of the system that it has that feature, because Switch 1 does not.
So even if you don't have the camera, you'll still be able to have game chat, which is nice, right? So yeah, I was thinking of it like, oh, you need the camera to be able to use game chat. You don't. So just because it's not a pack-in with the console does not mean that game chat as a whole is kind of a mess, right? Yes. So yes, anything that is parity across the board for every user, it means that it will likely be just used more.
Yeah. Okay. So this is something that people were wondering about the Switch 2. I'm going to state this just from memory of how other systems work in the past. You are with this upgraded system, what they're looking at doing, from what I could tell, was increased resolution and increased frame rate. Naturally, your Switch 2 is going to have a better processor, more RAM, faster storage. So that can't be locked behind upgrades. So technically, when you go to play these games, they should load faster and process information faster. But at the core of what an original Switch game is, they're probably going to have to lock the processing a little bit just so that it's not going crazy. There has to be some kind of, I don't know if the hardware technology has changed so much that they have to do some sort of emulation for the original system.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah. I'm hoping that they allow the Switch to make those games run a little bit better. And I hope that they don't purposely sort of nerf them. I recall...
If for performance reasons they have to, so the game's not running weird, that might be a thing.
That might be an issue.
But loading is just, that's just loading. That's literally, it's reading information from a storage medium. So it shouldn't go slower. I mean, physical will probably be just like it was before, but digital games, I imagine they would load a little bit faster.
With the PlayStation 5, there was backwards compatibility, of course, and they had titles like, Shadow of the Colossus, the Last Guardian. Last Guardian, where if you play the game pre-patch for the PlayStation 5, I think it has a better frame rate. I think it runs better.
Yeah.
But they wound up patching it, and it runs worse. So it feels like they kind of nerfed that title. That's the kind of thing I'm hoping we don't see here.
Yeah.
But Shane, you're right. Like they could have to do that just for the purposes of the software running correctly.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if that's what they need to do, so be it. I'm like everyone was wondering for the longest time if this thing was backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Right. And
I'm glad that it is.
It's physically and digitally backwards compatible. I can't cry too much about that.
Here's the real question you have to ask yourself. When you play a Switch 1 game portably on Switch 2, does it use 1080p out?
Yeah. Hey, does it assume it's in dock?
Yeah.
That alone's cool.
That's a big deal.
If they can get that information out there.
Because that means all of your games are going to look better portably on the Switch 2 than Switch 1, but that was not mentioned there. They didn't talk about that at all.
That seems like something that could be within the realm of possibility, because those games run that way in the dock already.
Edge Bedlam sent in another super chat. Thank you again, Edge. Remember Star Wars The Force Unleashed motion controls in Wii? New Force Unleashed or any Star Wars game for Switch 2 confirmed maybe?
So that version of The Force Unleashed, I believe, was already re-released on Switch.
Recently, right?
Yeah. But I don't know that it had it was like a weird port.
Yeah.
But bringing those motion controls back into things, I mean, you could have motion controls with the original Switch as is. I mean, you were pointing a light gun in House of the Dead, no matter how poor that remake was. You could still move things around to some extent. So it's not necessarily the newest thing in the world. But if you not only have motion controls, but you can also use mouse controls, you get a little more precision, I would say, with mouse controls in those games.
Yeah. I'm curious to see exactly how they go about with that, because like I think Nintendo has been straying away from motion controls lately. A lot of their games don't seem to utilize it all that much.
Like tilt aiming, which is not the same thing.
Yeah.
Gyroscopic tilt aiming.
We're talking about games that are like using motion completely.
Yeah.
I think they're probably going to rely a lot on this mouse stuff for just some games, because it puts them in an advantage over everybody else. Specifically, the ease of port access, the ability to take PC games as they exist, modify the inputs a little bit, but then just have it as a mouse game. That's a big deal.
It could be more difficult for them to take out the mouse integration than to like just leave it in. Like I don't know what the heavy lifting is there.
Yep, absolutely.
I was looking more into his price of games, and Donkey Kong Bonanza has a different MSRP than Mario Kart World. It's cheaper.
It's cheaper?
Yeah.
Huh.
And they're being kind of sneaky. They have pages dedicated to each of these games. And at the bottom, they say MSRP, but one price. But then also there's the reporting of if you look in other places in other countries, they show digital and physical prices.
Huh.
So, it seems like at least on the American page for Donkey Kong, they're hiding the fact there's two prices. Unless these other websites are wrong, but that seems... unlikely, because they're also Nintendo websites.
That's so strange. We're going to have to see in the coming days and weeks how that all boils up.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Pricing has pretty much been at parity for new games for digital and physical.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
reasons.
Weird. But like I said, until we start seeing this stuff get on store shelves, we are entering into a weird world where a lot of games are no longer being sold physical. They're being sold digital only. And I go to my local store and there is no Xbox section.
Yep.
Right? They sell the physical consoles, but they don't sell the actual games there anymore.
Yeah, for a lot of brick and mortar stores, they just stopped carrying those titles, and I think it's not going to be long before PlayStation follows suit as well. And then I'm thinking Nintendo's going to be last out of the gate. But if the pricing structures is that different right now, oh my gosh, that's going to affect physical sales. If you can save just $10 on a game going digitally, that would make the next console, I would assume, be digital only in my mind.
I'm really curious to see this. I wonder if the Switch 2's focus on physical releases as well is going to change the way some of these retailers look at these consoles, because they made a lot of money with physical games. For those of you that don't know, if you've been into a Walmart, how many of you in your local Walmart, because it might be different for some other people, how many of your Walmarts have the video game section in the back of the store? Is that a thing that happens for a lot of you? Because all the ones I've been into, it's usually in the back left or back right or right through the center, always in the back.
Yeah, electronic section.
Yeah. So the reason they do that is if you're going to go get a video game, you are a high purchaser. So that means you're someone that's going to be spending $50, $60, $100. It doesn't matter. And as you're walking back there, you might see other things. You notice in the aisles they put sales items and stuff like that. That's so as you're walking by, you'll catch something and be like, oh, I could buy that as well. So you buy multiple things as you go. They've lost that with the Xbox. Without having Xbox physical sales, it became a dead weight in the store. So with PlayStation still doing physical, they have that to hold on to, but Switch has been a huge driver for physical sales, so it's brought people to stores to sell that stuff a lot. It's why Best Buy has been struggling a lot lately, because without being able to sell media, there isn't a reason to keep going back in their store and not a reason to see other things you might want to buy. So that's the kind of thing that they deal with.
And while the Switch is still sort of leading the big three as far as physical game sales are concerned, I still remember hearing numbers that overwhelmingly digital's the thing, right? Yeah. So even though we say that the Switch is selling a lot of physical games, it's still becoming dwarfed by the digital landscape.
Yep.
So yeah, who knows how much longer this sort of brick and mortar, hey, come to the back of the store and get a game thing is going to happen. I'm going to support it. I like physical games. I got tons of them. I love being able to just take something off the shelf, look at it, do a little reading, drop a card into a system. There's just something cool about that.
Yeah. I when the prices started going down, the Switch games a little bit for some sales.
Yeah.
I just started going out and buying a whole bunch of games that I was really excited about, and I got really nervous. Also, just as a recommendation for everybody, if there are Switch games you want right now is probably the time to go pick those things up, as they're going to start probably not being produced as often, because as Nintendo focuses on Switch 2, Switch 1 will become a little bit more relevant. This time period and entering into the Switch 2 is the best time to buy games. If there's a game you want right now, don't wait too long, because it's going to be gone.
Yeah, who knows how much longer they're going to be producing the standard black Switch carts for those Nintendo Switch 1 consoles. Breath of the Wild, as these games get upgrades, people are going to be searching for these titles again. They might do another print run of, and likely will do another print run of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, those games. But there could be other titles where they're like, yeah, there's this extra frames, high fidelity mode that maybe is not going to see another one of those.
Maybe in the future they're just Switch 2 exclusive versions of the games that are re-released on red carts or whatever it is. So, yeah,
could be.
Which, I mean, I think they're doing for these first runs. I'm pretty sure they're making physical red carts for Jamboree and stuff. At least I got that impression.
Oh, really?
I got that impression.
Okay.
Or at least digital.
I saw a card. I didn't see a digital, a physical, a redemption card.
Honestly,
I didn't see.
I wouldn't be surprised, because we were already seeing physical games that have a combined DLC included with them in a case. Sometimes it's just like a code in with the standard cart, I think Mario Kart has a version like that, but there's also others like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. They have a cart that has the extra DLC included on it. So this has been done in the past. So if they do have that Mario Jamboree Plus physical, I won't be surprised.
Edge Bedlam sent in a super chat. Just one's a Switch 2 can be a new way to control lightsabers. I completely agree with that.
Absolutely.
Because you'll have dual motion, and you'll be able to just
just picture Shane on the floor.
Just two lightsabers at the same time.
If you are an expansion pack member on Nintendo Switch Online, you get the upgrades to the 2 Zelda games included.
Okay.
Oh, well,
okay.
There's some value there for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there we go. I think I already have that, so I'm already ready to go.
I haven't. As soon as I heard that pre-orders may be tied to Switch Online, my stomach dropped. Yeah. I have not had Switch on, because I do physical games. I don't do digital so much. I have a few digital games, but I haven't been on Switch Online officially with my system in years.
I've had it because I like. There's a lot of stuff on there that I like to play, but I'm just thinking about the pre-order system, and just recently trying to get tickets to go to the event to go play a Switch. I really wanted us to cover the Switch 2 so that we could show it off and talk about it. But unfortunately, we couldn't get tickets to that event because it was just it was a lottery system.
Yeah, this is going to be weird times. I'm really hoping that I can get my hands on one of these.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the tickets to go to that event were free, so everyone was signing up for that. And this is going to be, in Canada at least, close to the price of a cheap car. So it's it
might be over-exaggerating a little bit, but
I don't know. I've seen some pretty cheap cars on the road. But anyway, it's I am excited to get the system. I think it's really cool. I know I'm making fun of the Canadian prices. Canadian prices always sound higher than they are. Canadian values of dollars are different than the U.S., but This is an expensive system, but it looks like it's going to be valuable. It looks like it's going to matter, and the fact that your old library comes along with you is going to be a big deal. I want to hear that it runs 1080p Switch games portably. Because if it does that, that's all. Like that alone. Oh man, some games just run better docked. So if you're getting docked performance portably for original Switch games, that is going to be a free improvement naturally that you just get. And that's a huge deal. There are so many games that when I play them portably, I'm like, this is really cool. I like it, but I'd rather be playing this on the dock right now so I could just get a little bit of that boost of resolution.
Even just Breath of the Wild alone, having like the dock mode handheld would be pretty cool. Without even having to get to the boost extra DLC stuff.
I know Digital Foundry is going to make 1,001 videos showing the comparison
they'll let us know.
of all these
They'll
videos.
let us know.
So that's going to be nice.
I say that this is like, to me, this feels like pretty good value for money. Like I'm the price point doesn't scare me.
Yeah. We got 2 super chats back to back. The Demonologist.
Yeah. Demolitionist.
Demolitionist. Oh my God. The Demolitionist 1 said, and thank you so much for your super chat. So the Switch 2 will cost $450 without Mario Kart World and $500 with it. Is that a physical copy or digital? It's a digital copy. But apparently the game alone is going to cost close to $100. So you're better getting the digital in that. And it's like, that's one of those games. Like Mario Kart, I never take it out of the cartridge or of the slot. So I have a digital version on my Switch as well.
Seeing what they did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it might be, if you're like on the fence about physical or digital there, you might want to go the digital route with that because of the continued upgrades to that game over time. Like eventually you'll get to the point where you have like a quarter of the game on the cart, and then there's so much more out there.
And then Vegeta Almighty sent in a super chat. U.S. prices will likely be the same, digital and physical, due to our tariffs. Yeah, that's a thing. Tariffs are a concern when it comes to like, and you know, here's the thing. At the price that it's at, even if tariffs get resolved and all that stuff, because world trade, whatever, that price that Nintendo has it at right now, they're probably not going to lower it for quite a while to come. Why would they? If they actually start selling it at this cost, even if the cost goes lower for them, they're probably going to remain with that price for a while and then eventually use that to discount the system easily so that they're never at that moment where they're a loss leader.
Yeah, they didn't do a lot of dramatic changes in pricing for the original Switch. I think in some regions the price changed a little bit, but we never saw like a really huge price drop on the original Switch.
Super Kanata sent in a super chat and said, UK prices are £395 and £429. So correct me if I'm wrong, Super Kanata, on this. The UK puts sales tax into your price, right? In the US and in Canada, we don't do that. So basically, when you go to buy something, let's say it's $300, whatever you buy, it's $300 plus taxes that are added at the register. So with your prices, I believe that the taxes are included in the price. I think that's how the UK works. I think they were just telling you what the prices are. Yeah, no. But just so everyone can hear that the people don't know that they're not getting like a huge discount or whatever. It's also just conversion. Yeah. Numbers are just different between the different currencies. Yes. By the way, just so everyone knows this, the way the UK does prices beats everybody. Why we don't just include the taxes in the cost of the thing, I will never understand. It's so much easier than doing the math when you're at the register.
Oh, I understand it. It's to make it seem like it's cheaper than it actually is.
Yeah, but that's not cool. I prefer to know.
I know, me too.
It's so much better that way. And you know, where we live, we have an electric disposal tax, I think is what it's called. So when we go to buy anything that has that's an electric device
or batteries,
a battery, anything like that, we actually put the taxes on board for disposal of it eventually. This is crazy, but this is actually true. This is how it works. If I take my phone and I go to buy the phone from the store, there's an electric tax on electric disposal tax that's added onto that. Then when I go to get rid of this phone eventually, you can dispose of it at one of those stores that just have that stuff. But if you go to a landfill to dispose of it properly, they charge you. And I'm just like, but I paid for it already. It was in the cost, but not everything was like that. So eventually it's going to round up. It just hasn't happened yet. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we don't do sales tax included in the prices all the time. I know it makes things look cheaper, but we're still paying for it. Feline sent in a super chat. What do you think about games like Fortnite, Madden, FIFA, PUBG, the pro games?
They are the Thanos of the gaming industry. They're inevitable.
Fortnite is fun. There's a lot of really cool things that they keep adding to Fortnite. It's a huge game. There's lots of stuff to do.
It's like the best Guitar Hero game right now, right?
Oh, and by the way, Fortnite, I can almost guarantee you that thing's going to run at 120 frames per second. That game is a much older engine. I mean, they do upgrade the engines, but Epic makes the engine and makes the game. They care about that game.
That game has run across so many platforms at this point too that it's probably so malleable to go to like any system.
And they're definitely going to get mice working on that for sure. That Fortnite, they're going to care about that. As for Madden and FIFA and PUBG, I don't know if we're going to see PUBG come to the Switch too.
Yeah,
it's not as popular anymore.
Yeah, it may be quite large. I haven't really heard too much in that landscape.
Yeah, Fortnite and Madden, or sorry, Madden and FIFA.
FIFA, yeah.
Okay, both of those games, I don't care about them. What they, in my mind, what they've become are those card trading systems where you're paying a lot of money to do a lot of things in those games. They generally just seem like scams now. I've never met people that play the game because they enjoy playing the game. They enjoy the RNG of it. They enjoy the built-in stuff like that. I don't consider them bro games. I consider them garbage games, in my opinion, because there are sports games out there that I really like, not those ones.
Yeah, I can't speak to it personally. I don't play those titles, but I have seen some of the more egregious like pricing structures they have for additional player cards and stuff like that. And whenever I see a loot box like mechanic, I'm really drawn away from a game.
What am I going to play? Windjammers 1 or 2 or Madden? Windjammers 1 or 2. What am I going to play? Virtua Tennis or Madden?
This is how much Shane knows sports.
Yeah.
He thinks Windjammers and football are the same thing.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
But no, I think that those sports games, I know that they put a lot of effort into them. There's a lot of time and energy they make those games. I'm not trying to discredit the fact that they make the games with a lot of value into them. But for me, it's just like the games have been boring for so long. They got to this one design choice for FIFA and Madden, and they just stayed there for years and years and years. And it's just boring. We used to have really interesting and varied football games. Do you remember? And I'm American football, not footy. So like
NFL
Blitz. We used to have Mutant League football. Yep. We got
more Mutant League. Yeah.
But like we don't see expansions of those ideas and to make those games more interesting.
It feels like they're trying to get to sort of a. They're trying to dial things down to a singular point. That is, how much money can we continue to get from our consumer base month over month, and that's no good for me.
It looks like an when I see FIFA and I see Madden, I just see an ongoing transaction, and I'm like, I'm not.
Which is a shame because like I said, I don't play these games. There could be compelling gameplay there, but I'm always just so like, offended by what I'm seeing for pricing in those games and transactions that I'm just like, I don't even want to try the game beyond the cards or with the cards.
So Vegeta Almighty said, Shane, can you pitch a new Smash game so Nintendo can see this and make it?
Yeah.
Maybe Mega Man so Capcom can follow suit.
Okay.
Okay, so Mega Man, it's just called Mega Man Legends 3. That's all they got to do.
Or Red Ash. That's cool too. You can call it Red Ash.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It is literally remaster and re-release Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, and then
Tron Bon.
3. Yeah,
Tron Bon as well. Give us some Tron Bon.
As for Smash Brothers, if you want to hear my actual pitch for what the next game should be, Smash Brothers is done. If they make another Smash Brothers, they have to take all the IP from the previous game and move it forward. That's crazy expensive and very difficult. I don't think we need another 2D flat Smash Brothers game. Make a 3D full volume Smash Brothers game. What I mean by that is Power Stone 2 with Smash Brothers. That's the future. So essentially, you should have what we do with Smash Brothers is we move left and right, up and down, right? You're stuck on that one plane. But if you turn it into a 3D experience where you can move around in an arena style game, the arena becomes a part of the gameplay, and it will be way more enjoyable that way. I think what's going to happen with Capcom's new re-release of Power Stone 1 and 2 that's coming out with that big fighting collection, a lot of people are going to discover how much fun Power Stone 2 is, and then be like, why are we not doing that with Smash Brothers? The next Smash Brothers has to be that. It has to incorporate that. If they can get the good fighting mechanics and everything in there, so much the better. But I really want to see Smash Brothers go into that area. And I'm going to call it Smash Brothers Arena. Maybe they steal my name again, Mario Kart World. But that's what I want. I want to see a Smash Brothers game like that. Introduce all the characters, have all that fun stuff, but I want that to happen. That way they don't have to really pull all the characters from the past forward. Yeah. I just want that. And I think it'd be really fun.
I feel like that's the only way they could get away with not doing a traditional Smash Brothers again is by doing something completely different and being like, well, yeah, not everybody's here, but we have a new game and it's something that you should be excited about. Right. If they make an iterative sequel and not everyone's here, then yeah, that it just makes it worse than the past title.
Exactly.
Right?
The past title that exists, we just need boost that to 120 frames per second, give us 4K. That's it. That's all you need for that one. Maybe you want to add more characters to that, it's fine. But you can't make that game better anymore. And I mean, it's not that you can't, you could, but it's just, we've seen that same game design again and again and again. And the previous one was so on point that they just did it again on the next system, right?
We're ready for a change. I could see a reality where this becomes the Mario Kart 8 of this generation, where it's the Smash from last time, but it's going to be iterated on with levels and other characters throughout the lifespan of the Switch 2. But at the end of the day, I don't think people will be like all that jazzed about that. Yeah. I do feel like the title needs to go through a pretty dramatic shift.
Yeah, it really was. Like, Smash Brothers 2 did this amazing thing, and it was to my knowledge, the first game to do this, where, or it might have been Mortal Kombat 3, where you could go between levels. So there's this one, you're playing in like in a subway. Yeah. Then if you uppercutted one of the characters, that you'd go up into the next stage. Wow, I just forgot. Power Stone 2, the levels would transition from one thing to the next, and there would be interactions and stuff happening. The levels became a character into itself and became a part of the gameplay. And there'd be like vehicles you can get in. There'd be items you could pick up and interact with. It's such a logical choice, and I think they should have Namco help with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see why not.
They've played well with Namco plenty, so...
Yeah.
Namco, they were on board with the Mario Kart.
Yep.
Namco getting them racers on in the arcade.
Yeah. And I guess we're getting a new Ridge Racer. I completely forgot about that.
Well, not a new Ridge Racer. We're getting the re-release of the arcade version of Ridge Racer, and that looks pretty cool. So Hamster's Arcade Archives props. Yes. That's awesome.
Okay, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're as excited for this thing as we were.
Yeah.
And thanks, everyone, for sending in the Super Chats. We just got another Super Chat, so I was going to get to that right now.
Super quick.
Yeah. James...
Jam Salt, if you will.
Jam's
Alt, if you will.
Jam's Alt, if you will.
Either of those.
Not sure if this has been mentioned, but I wonder whether we'll get DS games on the online pass because of the Joy-Con mouse.
Okay.
There is a chance. The problem with Joy-Con in general is, the DS in general, is that the screen aspect ratio is wrong. So many of the games, the screens are one on top of the other. So you would have to like tilt the system.
We have had DS titles come to the Switch. We just had the Castlevania Dominus collection.
Yes.
And they found a solution to that. There are ways to get the DS titles on this system, but it's going to be a game-by-game basis. I do see a world where Nintendo does do that, but you're going to see a very truncated selection of games. Because of the physicality of that system, a lot of games played so differently and used those two screens so differently. Some focused on the lower lower touchscreen aspect. Some only used it as a map. Your mileage will vary there, but I could see it. There's no reason why it can't.
I believe if Nintendo is going to do this, they're going to do 3DS and DS at the same time because of that entire family line. So I believe the fact that there's a USB-C port on the top and bottom of the system, that you could probably attach a secondary screen, which is something that they would do. And I would imagine it would be the bottom screen that they replace, right? Not the top, because the high-resolution top screen is one thing, and the bottom was the interactive one. And on both systems, they were basically the same aspect ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So what they would likely do is a bottom...
Aspect ratio is a little different, I think.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like a square. It's not like...
Sure.
I think if they were to do it, it would be a attachable bottom screen so that you get this nice big feature for it. But
I think that's I love that as a fan of the DS and 3DS, and I want it, but I do feel like that's a little messy.
It's messy.
It's messy.
It's messy. It's nothing but not messy.
But Nintendo's we had cardboard attached to our face not several years ago. So who knows, right?
We barely talked about the fact that they're just announced and they're going to be selling a wireless GameCube controller. Right? I assume it's got Rumble in it. That might be the best GameCube controller you can get from anybody now because it seems to support everything.
That's the most exciting controller launch that they've probably had
Everybody's
in a
wanted
long
that
time.
For years, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see how it happens. I'm really excited for everything they showed off. My wallet is hurting already.
I know, but buddy, on the bright side, the things that this hardware can do, I'm very hopeful for the future of just awesome Nintendo software. Like being 120 hertz, getting between 60 and that is pretty freaking incredible. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be playable in 120 hertz.
Right? It's just ridiculous. It's so cool. I'm so excited. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the stream. For everyone that just became a YouTube member on Rerez, please check out all the extra videos you just got. There's a whole bunch there. Hours and hours and hours of stuff. I think like way too many hours of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But
if you like to hear us blab and you like watching fun video game videos, then you're in the right place.
Absolutely. And we'll be back soon with new videos. We've got some new stuff that we're working on.
Yep, pipeline's going pretty good.
Yeah, a new Just Bad and a new Rerez on Games. That's where I wear a tie and look like SpongeBob SquarePants.
Apparently, that's what everyone says.
Yeah. All right, folks. Have a good one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.
Bye-bye.